step on the mic, man, you know it's a difference. Heavenly blessed with the melanin, baby, you know that we winning. No time for the long talk, got 120 on the clock. Wednesday, 8 through 10, all the bad vibes better stop. Cause you gotta come with that energy. Casual convos, baby, come down and just sit with me. Lil' Coco be spitting that remedy. Casual convos, baby, come down and just sit with me. You better take this shit serious. She dropping knowledge on head and it's free for the play. Tap in right now if you curious. We got the ham radio going lit every day. We go from people to family to pilots. Stay with me if you got something to say. You know it's important if we go acknowledge. Speak on the business and get out the way. What you gonna say about my mama? She winning, you rockhead.
Hello, welcome to the Casual Convo Show, where we have conversations about topics that affect the communities, personal and business relationships. We always have the casual convo, so you don't have to have the tough convo. I am your host, Coco. Joining me, of course, my amazing co-host, DJ extraordinaire, Big Boscoe from the Bronx.
That ass.
Also, we have the most controversial, the amazing,
The governor.
one of the best in IT land, the one that can always trigger any female in the world, the one that's
Easily.
going to give you everything, and he's going to send you and back it up by factual data, and he's going to send you the link for everything that he has.
And the author.
Welcome, Mike Taylor.
Hey, what's up, y'all?
What up, Mike?
Chillin',
We call
chillin'.
him the governor, y'all. He's the governor. Better respect
Okay.
that, man.
I guess we're going to jump right into it. We got a couple things before I introduce the topic. We're going to start with the mental health check-in. Of course, you know, file gas mic is optional for you. For me, I'm going to say I'm okay. I had some great conversations. I got flowers today, which was amazing. Yeah, I got surprised with some flowers, so that was cool. That was cute. Oh, by the way, happy Valentine's Day. Woohoo.
Word.
Word.
As for me, everything's all good. Still dealing with some stuff, but I'm gonna weather the storm. I'm a former boxer. I get knocked down, I get back up. My trophies are right there on the over my left shoulder. I got a fighter spirit, so let's keep on. But I'm good.
Oh, you want me to say something?
And you don't have to.
Well, you don't have to. This is not
Okay.
We just had a pause to record. That's all.
No, we had to make sure. See, that's where the email come in. But
I read the schedule now. I got the itinerary.
J-Bear in the building. I got your photo hanging. You can't see it, but it's right there on my shelf. It's the white spot there, the light. You can't see it, but I got it hung up with my albums, man. Again, I appreciate that art.
gift.
Yeah, I appreciate that art, man. I look at it every day when I come in this room. Like, there it is. So it's all good, man. So,
You got some thoughts for today?
yeah. Before I get to the thoughts, let everyone know. Get your hand radio merch, hoodies, shirts, hats. handradio.org/shop. Get it. They're dope. They're flexible. They feel good. I rock my hoodie like all the time, man. I watch it. I don't know how many times. It hasn't faded out. Like I say, get your hoodies, your hats, your hoodies, your hats, and your shirts. handradio.org/shop. Get it. Trust me. I'm not just trying to sell it. I'm telling you some good stuff, man, for real. All right, for the thoughts, I'm gonna make it brief because I know we got a lot to talk about today. It's what's up, King Paul? Basically, I'm gonna talk about some of you gangsters out here. If you're gonna be in the game and you popping caps every day and everything, and you call yourself making money, get yourself some insurance. It don't have to be health insurance. Get yourself some life insurance because no family member wants to be straddled with your ignorance. You go out in the street, you get killed. It costs money to put you in the ground. Your kids got to suffer. Everyone suffer. So if you don't care about yourself, at least care about them. And for everybody, get yourself health insurance. Us black people, for some reason, we don't want to get health insurance. Get it. I got dental. I got health. I got the whole lick. And that little bit of money goes a long way. But basically, it goes back to what I'm saying about the life insurance. If you out there on the street doing whatever, every day you living reckless, get yourself some insurance. find your little beneficiary, then go out there and shoot up what you want to shoot up. Because they can put you in the ground and your family's taken care of. You're not leaving a burden on them. Because you're already showing you don't care about them. You don't even care about your kids. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 kids, and you out there popping caps at people because someone says something you don't like. Then you want to get blasted. So get yourself some insurance. That's the best investment you'll probably do in your short life. Yeah, I said it. Your short life. Remember that.
Thank you, Boscoe, for your thoughts.
Public service announcement.
Okay. So again, I'm just going to go right into it. So tonight we're going to be talking about Black History Month, with an addition to get into my business a little bit. But I thought to talk about Black History Month today because over the last couple of years, and especially this year, nobody has really mentioned Black History Month. Well, to my knowledge, you haven't really seen it. It's not really spoken about. It's almost like that. I don't even want to say the elephant in the room, but it's just like it's non-existent. So I just wanted to try to dive into some things, some thoughts of maybe why, and all of that stuff. So what are your guys' thoughts on what does Black History Month mean to you today? Do you think it have a meaning at all?
Yeah, Mike.
All right. Yes and no. Being that the age of technology is like booming right now, so we're discovering more stuff than what they taught us in school. Like all the lakes that are man-made, the dams, how they flooded towns, and how they like basically got together and ran black farmers off their land, and so it's a lot. So like right now, I won't say it's not a big deal. I just think that we're learning so much that it's hard to put in context in 1 month now. Like at first, you got the Dr. Martin Luther King spill, Malcolm X spill, NAACP civil rights spill. Now it's way more stuff that's been uncovered. It's Bruce Beach. You got the and the Mississippi Punch Bowl. You know what I'm saying? It's like I think right now, especially like if you're an educator, it's overwhelming. You know what I'm saying? Because think about it. You have the African American Museum, and then you have the lynching museum down in Alabama. I think the FBA, what's his name? Tariq Nasheed started in California.
Yeah.
So it's a lot. It's a lot of our history is like it's getting deeper now. Like we're starting to uncover a lot. Like they're uncovering the African Indian tribes. It's a whole bunch. So I think like you don't hear it anymore. Like you don't hear it now because almost everything that we learn now was thrown on TikTok because YouTube will take it down. So it's like okay, well let's get the information out there. Let's get the information out there. And if you're looking for it, you know what I'm saying, you'll be like, I go to TikTok. What do I want to do? And it has become a 360 thing. You know what I mean, like it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard trying to put it in 1 month now. And should we everywhere?
Yeah.
Like,
the piggyback. I'm glad Mike just said what he said and what Samika just said, because that ties in what I was getting ready to say. Also, there's so much information out there, and there's so much stuff that's been uncovered that 1 month is not enough. You can put something every day for the whole month of February, and you still haven't scratched the surface, because you got, like you said, Mike, you got the museums. And my thing, I have a blog that speaks about the Black the massacres, and those alone wouldn't cover. I mean, February couldn't cover because There's over 100 of them. And to go into each one, it would take you months to learn about all of them. You know, what they always put on TV is the same stuff. Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, maybe Medgar Evers, stuff like that. They don't talk about the other stuff. They don't even talk about Malcolm X, you know, or the Black Panthers and the 65 programs they created. Like we talk about Uber and Lyft today, they did that back in the late 70s, late 60s, early 70s. They had that first. You know, you talk about the WIC program, the Black Panthers started that. But if you ask a lot of people, they don't know that because they're not going to teach. They're going to teach what they want us to know, not what we need to know. That's why it takes us to. We got to teach. We got to learn. We got to read. We got to research. It's just so much out there. Well, later on, we're going to talk about Juneteenth because I got a lot to say about Juneteenth. But we're going to wait on that one. And I'm going to piss a lot of people off about Juneteenth. But we stay stuck on the same stuff every year. And this is no disrespect to Rosa Parks. What she did was on point. But our history goes beyond her. They don't talk about Angela Davis, you know, Huey Newton. Oh, shoot. I got his face in my head. I can't think of him. You know, Eldridge Cleaver. They don't talk about that stuff. They don't even talk about a man that wrote the books, huh?
They don't talk about anything.
They don't talk about anything. It's just the stuff that they taught you in school back in the 70s. You know.
But even okay, so let's when it started, let's talk about 70s, 80s, even 90s. Black History Month, it was like a thing of celebration, even for us, even if we still had the same cliche Black people, when we know we contributed so much more to this country and the world all around. Something was celebrated, right? There was something in the curriculum, as Samika stated. Something was in the curriculum where as though it stood out. You knew it was Black History Month. Today, it's like, if you knew how many people said, oh shit, it's Black History. That's right, it is Black History Month. How the hell? And I'm talking about people that look like us. I ain't talking about nobody else. So it's like we even lost touch with. So I think the reason why it's not a part of the curriculum and why it's not spoken about is because we've allowed that. But you know what we do talk about, what I've noticed is what is highlighted is, even if it's down to the Shannon Sharp and Mike Epps, it's always Black people against Black people. That's extremely highlighted during Black History Month instead of the accolades of contributions that we've, you know, provided to society. That's not spoken on. So for me, that's the difference from past to today. It's like nobody even acknowledges it. So even if you want to speak positively on it, it's like, no, nobody want to hear that shit. No, nobody.
Exactly.
Yeah. So even though we have the museums, how many of us, because when I go to the museums, you know who. So when we say what we've done, do we really understand what we've done, what our purpose was, the foundation that we built here, instead of other people? And you know who tries to teach us our culture? It's not us.
It's not
so
us.
It's like we don't take the time to even know. Like you say, yeah, you got the Rosa Parks and everybody. There's so many different people that contributed, that did a lot. Like everything here we built. Or made or manifested in some way. So it's like that's not even spoken about. So when we speak on the positivity of African Americans in this country, you know, it's never highlighted in positivity.
No, that's because you missed the war. So the war started against critical race theory.
Right.
Okay.
So they end up rebranding. They end up rebranding our history as critical race. Theory curriculum, and the Senate and everybody else pushed back. Like it was supposed to be taught in schools as a regular class. Right. The white people don't want their kids to know what they did. You know,
they make that clear.
think about what's happening now. We got facial recognition. You can literally take all those postcards where all them people was at the picnic, hanging the nigga, setting the nigga on fire, and you can identify all of them. Jerry Jones was one. And he was like called out on it. They don't want that to happen.
Nope.
At all. So what they did was they tried to make it seem like it was a bad thing. as in the black culture, you get tired of studying the same shit. Like
Yeah.
I know because I used to skip high school. Like, okay, well, this shit dumb. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to see how much money I can make. Right
Yeah.
now,
Can I ask
it
you the question? Well,
sure.
rhetorical question.
Mhm.
Who fault is that? And let me explain the question. Well, that's the question I'm gonna ask. That I'm also give a slight answer slash
Mhm.
explanation.
Mhm.
When we say things like that, we are responsible. For instance, as a parent, we also have to educate our kids on us.
Mhm.
So we can't leave it up to other people and other curriculums and other systems to teach us who we are.
Mhm.
So I know I said it before. I think that's one of the blessings that I've had,
Mhm.
family wise, was to have certain lessons being passed on and know
Mhm.
that all of us have family members that were a part of something that may even be alive today,
Mhm.
or recently, whereas though we didn't take the time to stay unified, whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
to get those lessons. So I asked whose fault is that? I know we always say the government. Yes, they put certain things and systems and structures in our community of destruction, right? But at the end of the day, like we always say, which we're gonna get into, it's all there. The knowledge
Mhm.
is there, right? It's easily accessible, but we don't access it to even teach
Mhm.
our kids. And we be like, oh, the kids not learning nothing. Look at Baltimore City schools failing the shit out our kids.
So let me put it. So I mean, the same as what Malcolm X said. You let your enemy teach you, educate your kids. There's no black schools. Name one. You know what
No.
I'm saying? Like when we start talking about um what we've been exposed to, see, we all been to public school.
Mhm.
I went to private school, which was even worse.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
I did too. Yeah.
yeah, so but then you find out that like my mother, told me about Charles Drew, and she had
Mhm.
other books, and she went to Morgan State. That was her thing.
Mhm.
But as you get older, you get to make the cognitive decisions on your own. Like I'm 16, she's not gonna tell me come to the house and learn all these things that she was teaching at 11 and 12. I
Mhm.
didn't get. I want to say I didn't even get pro black or like black awareness until I was like 30. Did I know all the stuff? Sure, I knew all the stuff. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying she had the books. She had she still got the black encyclopedia. To this day, my mom got the
Mhm.
black. Yes, and it's worth like 2, 3. It's worth millions because they don't make it anymore.
Right.
I can
You don't
recite.
even make encyclopedias anymore. You know, last time I
No,
seen that.
exactly. She still has it like in the basement, right? My niece and all of them, like that's how they was writing their reports. But we're saying
Mhm.
like as we gotten older, right? We don't necessarily worry about that. We worry about how much money we need, how many
Yeah.
bills we got. We tend to focus on the here and now rather the past. And then you got to look at I think of the movies that they made that's tiresome. Like who the hell want to keep watching slave movies over and over and over
Over
again,
and oh my
right?
God, man.
So they beat that. They beat that in the head to the point that we didn't even want to see the Harriet Tubman movie. We was like, man, we ain't tired to see that shit. And
Mm-mm.
look at Color Purple, that went bad because we not trying to see all that trauma. But like they haven't spoke on our victories. They always show us in like a losing state. So learning a history from a loser's perspective get tiresome until you decide to do the
Mhm.
research.
Yep. I agree. When my mother,
I agree.
she she passed away in 2019, but even then, she was still teaching me stuff. And like I said, I'm not gonna jump to the Juneteenth thing yet. I got a lot to I
Yeah,
got a lot
yeah.
to I got a lot to say. But she
It's
taught me a
coming. It's
lot.
after Mike. It's coming. I got
Yeah.
it.
I'm just
She taught
listening.
yeah, she taught me a lot. Cause see, like I'm 59, I'll be 60 this year. I was born in 64. And as young as I was, I still remember a lot of stuff that went on in the late 60s. I remember the Black Panthers being in the street. Like my mother told me she went to see Malcolm X speak with me in her stomach, and every time he spoke, I would kick. And she said that's how she knew I was going to be the way I was. I remember Lyndon Baines Johnson. I remember all of that stuff. And the problem I have today, and I'm not knocking all people younger than me, like 20, 30s. I'm not knocking all of them. But the problem I have today, a lot of them don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear that. Nobody want to hear that. Don't want to hear that. Like my kids, they're all adults. They know. My grandkids, they know. She's like my third grandchild. She just turned 17. she's deep into it, and her sister is, and her brother, all of them know. Because my kids taught their kids. And we said, you need to know the truth. And it's so great because we're not going to be here forever. And we're going to need people to pass that message down. You know, and if you can get to the younger ones, say, hey, you may not care, but you need to know this. You need to know who Bill Pickett, the guy who created steer wrestling, is, so people don't say, well, why are you at a steer wrestling event? Because a black man created steer wrestling. That's why I'm here. Yeah. You got to know there were black cowboys, and there's still black cowboys and cowgirls out there competing in competitions. You need to know this stuff. That's our history. There's a lot of stuff, and people need to know this. But like I said, they're only going to teach what they want us to know. And like Mike said about critical race theory, they rebranded it to that so they don't have to relive the sins they, committed back in the 60s, in the 50s, and even the early 70s. Because like you said, they got that facial recognition. So now you can just post it up on Google and say, oh, that's so-and-so.
Right.
That's
what they did too.
I think one of the things that we talk about also, we always talk about delivery and messenger, right? Our kids, a lot of times, and I'm coming from a parental standpoint, they be like, oh, ma, da 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 da. So, I think I probably mentioned it a couple of times here, like even with my kids, it was important for me for them to know their foundation. Yeah. Not only their family history, but the history of who they are. So I knew certain things. Was it Hidden Colors, Mike? What was it? Remember that whole series?
Oh man, yeah,
I got it.
Yeah, and Hidden Colors, like, woo.
Yeah, Hidden Colors, that was it. Yeah, so I had all of them, and I was so invested, I was so caught into it because that series will also give you the resources of where to go to dig deeper. That was the whole point, is to dig deeper. And the way that it was presented, it made you want to go into it more, right? So especially all of my kids got into it and watched all of them. They started doing their homework, doing the research, which in turn got them to ask questions. So I knew, okay, maybe I'm, it's not coming from me at that time. And then my ex at the time, I don't want to say militant. I want to say he was very knowledgeable of history because he was also at one time practiced Muslim.
Islam.
Islam. That's it. Islam. Right. So I don't know why I'm real nervous tonight. Anyway, so but he will also, especially like my youngest son was like he took to him a little more because my oldest son was a little older. He wanted to be outside, but he also, my oldest son was more of a reader. Where my youngest son, he gonna watch it. So I would come home and he was on it. And then on top of that, he would go to him and ask him, and he would, show him other books. So at this time, you gotta imagine he was in like elementary school at the time, right? So it got to the point, I told you, Bosco, I think I set it up here. I had to go to the school.
Yeah.
He was challenging everything. And he was right. So I think what we have to do, and at that time they were in like a county curriculum. So they were teaching them the surface level, but there was some errors. And the one thing that really got me called to the school, they wanted to put my son out, was when he told them that the first pope was black. They was talking about something with the pope. And so I said, well, he right. You know what I mean? Because we pulled it up. But do you know today you can't pull it up? That's why I always tell people you can't always depend on Google or social media, because back then, when I say it came right up, image, everything, the first black pope. Now, it's like from history.
Good luck.
It's erased from history. That stuff can't be taught in a curriculum. That has to come from us or people who actually are knowledgeable and know, or like you said, can go to the books, the encyclopedias of where it really is, because most of us today don't pick up a book. I mean, even think about it, even like urban novels, they're on a Kindle. Know, how often do you see people actually holding a book?
Right.
Well, all right, so how can I say this? So I come from a militant family.
Me too.
I come from a diehard South Carolina, Geechee, Gullah,
right,
Seminole family. So oral knowledge was what my grandmother said was most important,
Mm-hmm.
right? Um, but she also wanted me to learn the reclassification of the Negro.
Mm-hmm.
She said that was more important than history
Mm-hmm.
because the reclassification will show you who we was then and who we are now.
Mm-hmm.
So if you follow the reclassification, a lot of us, I mean, a lot of us have Native American.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And it's a guy named I think William Placker.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so he
Your placard.
threatened.
Yeah.
Yeah, Placker threatened
Mm-hmm.
uh black people who claim Native American like
Yeah.
death. They burned their houses. And so black people, and even in the early '80s and '90s, where you used to be like, "Hey, I got some Indian in me," you got made fun of,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
right?
You still do.
Because the
Still do.
tactic, yeah, because the tactic worked,
Yeah.
right? It's too many like we have what they call identity crisis.
Right. Yeah.
So you
Mhm.
know what I'm saying. So we are native to this land. So we call yourself indigenous. You want to
Mm-hmm.
call yourself Indian, depending on what type of culture and tribe that you was associated with.
Mm-hmm.
From there, you was called nigger.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying, or Negro, however you want
Mm-hmm.
to call it, because
Mm-hmm.
black back in the '60s and '70s was an insult.
Is it
Oh, yeah.
Black used to get you beat up. If you call somebody black, they fought you.
beat up ain't the word?
Until Stokely
Word.
Carmichael
That's whose name I
came
was
up
trying to remember.
with
Stokely Carmichael. Yeah.
until Stokely Carmichael came up with the Black Power movement.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Kwame Ture. Yeah.
Right, yeah. So we was Negro, then we
Mm-hmm.
went black, and then Jesse Jackson was homeboard, and we got another uh label was African American. Smokey
Yeah.
Robinson did a play about this. I mean, a poem about this.
Oh, yeah.
I'll send it to you. He said we seem to be like we the only ones that got to change our names every couple
Yep.
hundreds of years.
Yeah.
So now we ADOS and FBA and all these labels. At the end
Mm-hmm.
of the day, you're trying to figure out why do we need all these new labels and why the
Mm-hmm.
classification is right. From a nationalized standpoint, black don't have a country.
Mm-mm.
Negro don't have a country, and nigga don't either.
Nope.
Um, and so now I think like to the kids that's out here now, you have to tell them what's the benefit of knowing that we're black, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like most people don't even know, like they was gonna go to the UN and press charges against the United States, hate charges and all of that. And what you call him died. What's his name? The dude that represented OJ,
Oh,
the black guy.
Johnny Cochran.
Yeah, Johnny Cochran died and
Yeah.
didn't go nowhere.
Cochran. I was on
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
fault. Johnny Cochran and it didn't go nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot. It's a lot of. What is your expectations of knowing that your ancestors was hung? Because that's basically what they're going to tell you,
Mm-hmm.
right? What's the benefit of knowing that they made towns and they were senators and governors and they were House representatives and yet they lie to you and say, well, black people couldn't read. Okay, well, we was only out of slavery for like 4 years before they took over the South Carolina, before they
Right.
took over the South Carolina House of Representatives and Senate, and they wrote speeches. Like this, the one thing I tell people: if you want to get your kid into Black history, go find their speeches because they're lying to you. All the yes, sir, boss, and oh, master this, and all this. Oh, this is a minstrel show thing, right? This is what white people think we talked about. Like we never talk like that. Like they
Never.
wrote speeches, like 2 and 3 hour speeches. These people who are supposed to be in slavery and can't read, right? Yet they had slaves that could speak French and Italian and all this other stuff. So you're looking at, well, what's the benefits of just hearing the bad shit? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, why should I go and read the first um, speech in the House of Representatives of South Carolina?
Mm-hmm.
And then go read the last speech when they went up there and they got rid of the soldiers in the South and they went in there and they dragged them out and tried to kill them
Try to kill him.
and tried to kill them
Yeah.
on the Capitol stairs.
Mm-hmm.
So it's difficult to say, especially to the younger people, this is beneficial. What they're asking you is, well, what can I do with this history? Is we gonna get this money like the Jews, or you just gonna keep teaching me trauma? right? I had a conversation with a guy. He like, Mike, is you tired of the two national anthems? The black national anthem and the regular? I say, yeah, they both just, it's a divide. It just brings up sad shit. Like, who the fuck want to hear them? You know what I'm saying? Oh, Mike, but you're black, and you know your colors is black, red, and green. Well, who made that shit up? Marcus Garvey? I'm good. Like, this is your flag. Where's the country?
Where's the
Right?
country?
This is what people don't understand. There were countries. There were countries that ran underneath their own sovereign country. Like, they made up a country. They didn't run for their country, and then they pocketed all the money from their winnings. You see what I'm saying? So black Americans haven't decided, okay, well, we don't want to run underneath the United States. We done. We want to form our own conglomerate, and we keep all our money.
Booyah.
I told you before, people love the system.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? People love the system. That's why Paul going through what he going through, because people love the system. You know what I'm saying? They love it. I don't want to go against it. I'm cool. We don't need to do nothing different, right? Think about it. The HBCU is supposed to get an overhaul with technology because they were made for workers. Okay, well, where are you going to do mining at? Now, unless you're going to take your ass to Africa, and you're scared to, and mind you, you're scared to leave now. You terrified of leaving, but all the minerals that get mined is in Africa.
The diamond mines, all that stuff. Yeah,
but you're going to Alabama A&M, which is agriculture and mining. And all you can do is join a fraternity and jump around and shit.
Before you go further, Mike, because you killing it. The fraternities, oh my. Oh. Yeah, keep going.
Hold on. Because I know we got a lot to get in. I want you to finish, but I also want to give you a question. I want to give you a question too, so we can, transition, right? So even because you're talking about like the HBCUs and everything like that, finish that part. But over the course of time, what lanes do you think African Americans, Black people have entered over time of like progression, whether it's professional, political, anything like that?
Okay, so based on the schools, when they decide to get an overhaul, they're gonna have to share their white names. Like people don't even know. Like Spelman is named after a white woman. It's not even named after a black woman. You know what I'm saying? They literally, this is literally a white woman. I forgot who wife it is, but she's named after the damn school. Like it's a lot of history that people don't. Imagine these people go to the school, they have not told you. Well, what's her name? Shamika, man, tell them come, man. All they're gonna do is beat their canes but dog bark and all that other shit. You know what I'm saying? Same as Uncle Record said on the Boondocks. They ain't done did shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck.
But, the only one that's really named after someone, Bethune-Cookman.
Exactly. Yep. She's the only one. Everybody else has got some
money to get that.
That's right. Yep. She buried not too far.
Yeah.
From the school.
Yeah, remember Claude Bethune. Yeah.
So all right, so let's talk about Black people and their progression. Black people declined in doctors. Okay? They have declined in lawyers, right? They have really declined. The most profound profession that we decline in is pediatricians. We have utterly declined in this. So you go, your first line of defense in medicine, it starts at the kid level, right? So you're looking at everybody's happy with being a CNA, GNA, nurse practitioner. No one wants to be a doctor, right?
Yep.
So you look around and everybody who there to service your ass is from India.
Easy degree.
Right. So now you have, okay, so what are the lanes that we're supposed to be in as Black people? Well, the most independent one is IT. It's the only thing that
Mike,
we're in.
Not to cut you off, tell us how I
Did you get
and by the way, to go back to Spelman wasn't it was I think it was originally called Atlanta Baptist seminary or something like that. Was the original name.
Right, and then the white lady got it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
They funded it.
Yep.
Okay.
Carnegie
Let
family
me
and shit.
let
I
me
gotta look
ask
it
you
up. I
this,
think that's the name. Yeah.
Mike, Mr. Mike Taylor. What influences or what influenced you to go into the field of IT? I'm going on mute.
Oh, so in 1988, I got my first computer. All right.
Hold on. First of all, you're not going to take us back
You asked
to
how I got
birth.
influenced. My mother,
Gotta know.
my mother
know.
influenced me to get into computers by bringing a computer home.
Mhm.
Black screen, orange writing.
That was when we had dial up, right? Because I
No,
remember that.
no
That
dial
wasn't
up.
dial up.
Nope, this is not
That
dial
was
up.
It's not,
after.
no one down.
This is way before.
This way before.
There
Yeah,
wasn't
way
even no
before that.
Windows. There was no
No.
Windows operating system. This was straight DOS.
This is exactly.
Is that the one? I remember. I never forget the first computer we had because you thought your family had money if you had the computer it had like the little green dots. You
Right.
had to wait. It had their phone had to ring.
Oh yeah. So you got dial up. This is before dial up. This is before the
Yeah,
internet.
before dial up, you just got
Yeah, with the big
Well,
floppy disk.
yeah.
With the big disk, right? So she brought it home, and I started we started messing around with it. She bought a DOS book,
Mhm.
and we learned how to put smiley faces. And they had this one tennis game that went back and forth with the ball. Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah, I remember that.
I remember it
So
was just like the one little stick.
yeah, so I was fascinated. This is okay. So we broke the computer, and I got my ass whipped. But I took the computer apart in pieces.
Mhm.
It was cool. She in the army, so she got another computer. And the typewriter, which she used to type all the time, and
Mhm.
with the ribbons and the whiteout and all of that. So I learned how to
remember that.
type.
Yep.
When I got into school, like 1992, 93, 94,
Mhm.
computers were being introduced.
Mhm.
Right. So Windows 95 was super big. All of y'all
Yeah.
played the Oregon Trail. I know y'all
Everybody
played the Oregon Trail.
Everybody played the
And you know what I'm saying? You had Mavis Beacon that taught you how to type.
Yo,
Right. So that was my intro to
you
computers.
taking it back, man.
Yeah, so that was my intro to computers. You know what I'm saying? Not only that, I got into I went up to Morgan in the summertime, and they had a little computer class during the summer, and I joined for free. And then of course, the .com boom was super huge. I knew nothing about it then because I didn't know what .com was, and I didn't know how the internet was.
Yeah.
So after that, my passion for knowledge kept leading me to the library, and every time I kept going into the library, they kept getting new shit. What is this? This Windows 95. This Windows 98. This Windows Millennium.
Yeah.
So, and then I learned okay, well, Mike, you need to learn how to fix these things because, I want to know how to fix the computer. I want to know how to fix the computer. It wasn't until I went to Douglas High School, and they had a computer department, and in order for me to join, I had to join the ROTC. Y'all know that wasn't happening. So, so I just stole the books.
Oh damn.
Yeah, I stole the books. You know what I'm saying? I was a rebel without a cause. You know what I'm saying? I grabbed the books. My first book I ever stole was the A+ book. I read it.
That's a good.
And I wasn't planning on taking any certifications. I just wanted to fix the computers.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? So it's nobody in my community that know about computers. Okay. Not in the 90s. They saw selling drugs.
Mm-hmm.
When they were mailmen and Mike, you should go into the army. Like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, once I learned how to fix a computer, you can tell me nothing.
Yeah.
So in 2004, I formed my own company, named Taylor Computer Repair. I started working at Home Depot, and I just started fixing computers and erasing people's stuff. And then somebody said, "Hey, yo, Mike, you need to look into Test College."
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, "What the hell is that?" You know what I'm saying? I mean, I rolled up my weed and I went to walking into school high as a motherfucker. Like what is this?
Which one you went to? I went to the one on Caton.
The one on Caton.
You know what's so funny, Mike? I mean, I'm not an IT guy, but same way with my music, that's how I learned. I found an amplifier, my uncle's amplifier. I took that bitch apart. He whooped my ass. I put
Yeah,
it back together. And even with the computers, like Coco's all like, yo, how do you do this? I got my first Windows 95. I broke that bitch down. I went to the college, the community college that was up the street from me. I stole the box out. I took it home.
Yeah, you steal. They ain't giving you nothing.
I learned how to wipe hard drives, reformat the whole joint. I mean, I'm not as good as you, but I don't have to pay to get my computers fixed.
Exactly.
Like, I'm tech stupid. I'm gonna be honest. I ain't never like. I always broke. Don't touch nothing. All of my friends will tell you, I will lock myself out, do everything my IT do.
Coco, you gotta take the chance. You should have just took that chance. Got your ass whooped.
Yep, break it. You break everything.
You know how many times I got my ass whooped with that extension cord?
I got my ass whooped 2 times by my uncle and my mother both. But you know what? 20 years down the line, my mother's like, "Come fix my computer." You was whooping my ass when I was.
My gift is healing. I grew into that, and that's my gift. That IT wasn't my gift, but healing is my gift.
So let me tell you what happened. So I went to test high as a motherfucker.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I stole all the books. I never went to class. Like if my boy Chris was free tonight, I'd add him and he'd be like, I hated this nigga. Like this nigga cannot go to school, come back and pass the final exam and leave. I already read the book 3 times.
Right.
The problem was nobody told us about certifications. Like they glazed over them.
Right.
So I didn't know anything about them. I'm like, okay, I'm going to get this degree, this associate's degree. I should get a job. Negative, man. I'm talking about I applied for Northrop Grumman, Lockheed Martin, all of them. They ain't never hired me. So I'm like, all right, well, maybe it's because I'm black. You know, maybe they racist. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they don't know. You know what I'm saying? You know, that I need to write down that I'm white. It wasn't that. I ended up going to Florida, working with my uncles in construction and realized this shit wasn't for me. It was hot as shit putting roofs together. I was like, okay, I'm on South Beach laying concrete. Oh, this shit too hot. So I put my resume out there. A learning center called New Horizon Learning Center reached out to me. I went in, I bombed the test, like dumb failed it. You know what I'm saying? Dang. I was like, fuck. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. I'm mad at myself, but I ain't too mad. So the lady like, well, you can learn and study it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't feel like doing that shit, man. I'm about to go back to work. So then I got another call like 4 months later. And they're like, well, Mr. Taylor coming again because we got a little program. If you can pass the test, we'll sponsor you. Mind you. This shit like $16,000. I'm like, I got that right now. And I can sponsor my goddamn stuff. But do I want to? My uncle like, you don't want to spend the money. Get in the car. I'm gonna get in the truck. Drove me out to American Mall. I went in, failed it by 1 point.
Oh man,
you know what I'm saying? So now I'm mad. Now I'm frustrated. Now because I'm crying and I'm pissed off, mad at myself.
Did you have to pay to take the test? Oh, okay.
No, it's free.
Okay, that's
so good. The lady came in, and she like, would you mind staying here? I'm like, for what? You know what I'm saying? I'm about to leave. She's like, no. It's a new program. You know what I'm saying? The President Obama signed in called the WHEEL program. And if you stay here, we'll tell you about it. So I'm like, shit, I ain't got nothing to lose. I got to catch 2 buses to get home. And it's raining. I'm going to chill. So I went to run with the sleep. She woke me up. I came in. This guy named Mr. Rubin. He explained how I could get into the program for free. Now, mind you, I'm a proud guy, man. Like, you know, they talking getting food stamps and shit. Oh, what the fuck is this? I ain't get no motherfucking. I ain't hungry. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck am I getting food stamps for, man? You know? Yeah. So I call my grandmother. Grandma, they want me motherfucking get food stamps to get into a program. She said, well, if they just want you to get food stamps, they get the food stamps, or you can put your boots on and go out there with your uncles in them tomorrow. I said, well, let me go to Opalaka and get these food stamps. So I went in, got the food stamps, called Mr. Rubin. He looked me up. I had to go to a testing center in Florida City. Mind you, that's 3 buses. And it was raining.
This still in Florida, right?
Yeah, we're still in Florida. I get off the bus and I get splashed. Damn. Like I'm dumb wet. I'm pissed. Mud and shit all in my face. Okay. I go in here and they got this thing called a TAB test, like an aptitude test.
TAB, yeah, I know about the TAB. Yeah,
I'm like this is easy. I'm brilliant. I can do this. Math ain't shit. I ran through that.
Yeah.
So they was like, oh yeah, but we'll tell you the if you stay, we'll tell you the results. So I'm like, cool. I ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
And so the lady called me in and said, Mr. Taylor, you scored pretty high. I said, yeah, it's only reading and math. I got this. She said, well, you can start the program in 2 weeks. In the course of 2 weeks, my grandma was fighting cancer. On her deathbed, I promised I'd finish the program. The program was 9 months. I finished in 6. Not only was that my motivation, I found out that my mentor was from California. And so he was an ex-gang member and all that. So we had camaraderie. But what I found out is that I'm great with numbers.
That's me.
So if I'm great with numbers, then I might as well go the networking side, subnetting and all of that. I said, okay, I can do that in my hands. Once he showed me how to do it, I never not learned it.
Yeah.
I got 15 IT certifications. In Florida, I had 9. Once I got finished.
Yeah.
But I found out that the Cisco certifications is what really kept me, it's really put me in my lane. I'm like, oh, I love this. Configuring switches, configuring switches, routers, and all of that.
I can't do that.
I'm rolling. You can. Oh yes, you can.
I mean, I've never done it. I'll just say I've never done it. Yeah.
I'll just say it's a whole book you can get. See, I got the new book. It's a whole book you can get, bro. Like this is my life. So I took it seriously. And
let me ask you before you continue. How long? I guess because I started IT, but then I went over to being a chef because I found my passion being a chef. How long would it take you to become an IT if you really put your head into it?
3 months, and I can teach you.
Really?
3
months. I might need to reach out to you then.
Yeah, 3 months. I mean the most
is
demand
for one cert because one. Well, let me ask this. Because I see you post a lot of them in a duration of time, which is amazing. So I would say, realistically, to the person who I just think I just skipped over something.
Like a kid or
not even a kid, but someone like I was talking about you coming on the show to somebody that's very interested in IT, but they may not be certified in IT, but they may know how to do certain stuff, right? So how long would you say on end, or what's the range? Is that this range for each certificate, or should you have something along with that certificate?
No, so that's how it works. So the government has influenced the certificates now. So in order for you to even get considered to working, you need your Security Plus. That'll take you a month. You know what I'm saying? Real easily.
Military, or that's just across the board?
No. The DoD said this is the entry level cert that can get you in cybersecurity. So this is the cert that you have to get first.
Yeah.
I think we kind of skipped over the itinerary, you know what I'm saying? But okay.
Oh yeah, we did.
It's all right. I'll bring it back.
Yeah.
So what I tell,
I'm learning because I'm trying to figure out.
So what I tell every kid, at community college, got it for free. You can literally walk in there, walk into the training center. Cause that's why I go take my certifications at, and say, listen, I want to get a class just for the Security Plus, and they will put you in the class because there's no melanin people run into these classes.
That's what's sad, dude.
That's what I was gonna ask you, like, what's the ratio of, because like one thing, like even I've noticed, like even throughout my career, I'm not talking about just like, I know you military, right?
Who, me?
No, Mike.
Oh.
No,
not you was in the military, but you worked with like that stuff, right?
DOD.
No, not in the beginning. No.
But like now?
Now, yeah.
Okay, so outside of that, like, so like even like throughout my career, like, because I know you have experience on like hospital, like their software, stuff like that. So the one thing I did notice, it wasn't many of us that were in those roles, but they were always the go-to people, like somebody like me who excuse me, what button I gotta push because something not working, right? It was always, I may talk to somebody of another race over the phone, or they may email me back, but the person who presented, who was able to actually do the work and fix it, whereas though I didn't have any issues, was like one of us. So
Yes.
in your experience, what was like the ratio, or do you see an increase or a decline over time? Now, I will say from the beginning of my career to now, I do see more mainly African American males. Now, I'm gonna say probably like 3 years ago when I was somewhere else. I'm not even gonna say what place it was. I did see an increase of Black women starting to get in the IT world.
Okay,
Uh-oh.
so we want to talk public sector, private sector, or government.
Any of them? I don't know.
Okay,
I
so
don't
let's
know
talk.
nothing about that.
So let's talk public sector. So public sector, we uh we outnumbered.
Oh yeah.
I sat in the office full of white people that watch Fox News, talk racism,
What's
and
considered
I
public?
learned.
I mean, to those of us who don't know, what's the
All right,
difference in each sector?
all right. So the public sector is the commercial sector. It's
Mm.
um it's like Amtrak. It's like
Okay.
um it's like
The
McDonald's.
the
It's like
basic,
Burger
yeah,
King. Yeah,
yeah, the basic
like
stuff,
those.
yeah,
Yeah, the basics of the hotels.
yeah.
Right. Those are considered the public sector. Um, so we was outnumbered, and you talking about what you thinking is the labor side. We now outnumbered on the labor side because you don't have to learn nothing. I can make you a tech tomorrow. All I
Mm,
gotta do is teach you the job. But I'm talking like being the engineers, being the
yeah,
ones that design the systems. We outnumbered.
yeah,
I'm talking about Indians, man. We like 20. We like it's like for every one of us, it's 50 of them.
yeah.
And I went to war with all of them. Like you think I'm worse on the show? In my field, I come in walking through the door with my swords out. Listen, this is what I know.
Yeah.
This is not what I'm going to do, and I present myself because um it wasn't a lot of us. Now
Mm.
in the private sector, there are more
That's like
black women.
races and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
more private sectors like hospitals and like
Okay.
Sinclair,
Oh.
bro, like TV stations and all of that type of
Oh.
stuff.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I got you.
It's mostly women in the managerial part. Those are your enemies as a black man. We're not
Mm,
friends,
yeah.
and they always remind you that they make more money than you, and they can tell you what to do. I think I lasted at that job for like 3 months, and I got out of there. So, all right, now the government sector is
Mhm.
it's a mixture because
Yeah.
the army has decided to make a a position in the army that deals exclusively with IT. So
Mm,
now you're seeing like people going in the army to get into the IT. It's a lot of us. It's Mexican. It's everybody. On the government side, though, we
mhm,
deep. Like we got a camaraderie. Like I got a
mhm.
whole gang. You know what I'm saying? I'm the gang leader.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In Baltimore, that's they call me. I'm the only IT gang leader in the city. Because if you think about, oh Mike, I want to learn IT, well, ask my boy Nas. I talked to him to get his certifications. Talked to his sister. He motivated him. You know what I'm
Mhm,
saying? Like talk to my man Chris, man. We buckled down and you know what I'm saying, we got it. You know what I'm saying?
mhm,
Talk to my girlfriend. She got a security plus. Like I am the boss, right? But what
mhm,
I've learned is that through all of this, it doesn't attract black people.
mhm,
Okay. So then Black Twitter came up with the IT space where they can brag about how much money they got, their cars and all that. And people are like, oh, they're so arrogant. They doing this. No, we're not rappers.
right.
So we have to do what rappers do. You know what I'm saying? In order for you to know that I got money, you know what I'm saying? I got to go out and get a car that look like money.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Not only that, the schools aren't really actually focused on it. They'll have like a little program and they'll run the gambit, but them kids don't get certified, man, unless their parents pushing it, right?
Mm,
And it's bad because they had a white boy on YouTube that was 15. They got all of my certifications over the summer. So you telling
mm,
me a 15-year-old that you can tell them, look, his father rewarded him every time he got a certification, he got $1,000. Well, shit, you give your kid about $500 towards them Jordans. You know what I'm saying? Towards
mm,
them Jordans, I guarantee you, they'll get those certs.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? And the beautiful part about it is that The government ain't teaching nobody about tech. The government don't teach you about tech at all.
Right.
Okay, and this for J Bear. No, you got to go out. It's a website called Udemy.com.
Mm.
$20. Get in the field.
Explain it. I've seen that, but I thought it was spam. What is?
All right, so Udemy is where people who do not want to go with the big companies like CPT Nuggets and all that, and sell their learning videos
Mm-hmm.
for like $69. They said, well, no, but we'll give it to you for 20.
Mm.
We'll give it to you for 39. Now the holiday coming up right now, and I guarantee you going to Security Plus, you look at Jason Dion, he gonna sell it for 10. He gonna sell it for $10,
Yeah.
right? Because he tried to give it for free on YouTube, and Google said no.
Yeah, of course.
Because if you educate the masses
Mm-hmm.
on what internet security is,
Mm-hmm.
they'll go further.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So you got to understand that the government ain't promoting IT.
Mm-mm.
Ain't no need to. You niggas ain't gonna get it anyway.
Right.
Right. The school system lied. They told you that IT was math, so all you niggas got scared. Oh my God, math! Oh my God, there's
Mike,
nothing but math in this shit.
Time out. You're right. You know why? Because when I was going to school before I flipped over to being a chef, a lot of black people jumped out of that because of the math. Math ain't nothing to me. I love numbers. I'm a number guy. But
I digress.
So jumped out. I was like, what? Man, forget that math. Forget that math. Forget that math.
That would be me. Mike can tell you when I was in school, I was like, Mike.
Yeah. And I give it a calculator, man.
Give me the numbers, man. I'm a numbers guy.
Help. Nope. Math was math. I like I like math to a degree. When you start getting into the letters, the numbers, the carry that over there, get this formula right, then you got to get the formula, divide that. What's this ratio? That no, just damn, you doing too much. I'm confused. I'm confuzzled. So yeah,
the paradigm.
But I'm gonna tell you, listen, I'm gonna tell you the truth. They get into IT. Security Plus has no math. AWS System Ops have no math.
Okay.
Right. The only thing that deal with math is the network side and software. And who wants to take their work home?
Right.
Okay.
I tell people all the time, if you're a people person, simplest thing. Go to systems. Easy. Microsoft right now got free Azure right now. You can go to Microsoft.com and say, well, I want to learn about the Azure cloud. The training's free. The problem is that we ourselves go, oh man, that's dumb. But let me get up and go work at Amazon till my feet hurt, not knowing that Amazon got the biggest cloud production. I just got an interview with them today. So they want the boy.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
But what I tell them is, well, yo, you can go into Amazon in the warehouse, right? You can go, you're in, right? Go take the cert. Go down to human resources. Say I got a new certification. I need to plug the number in. Go apply for the job. They're gonna hire you within. You ain't even gonna have to do an interview because you're already in the system.
And you can show me that?
I showed 3 people that.
That's not what I said.
Yeah, I can show you. I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example before we go on break, right? Because I just seen the 5-minute mark, right?
Oh no, we at break right now.
Oh damn!
I was into the conversation.
Yeah.
I'm like, getting all that stuff to me. Like, I'm like,
hold that thought. So we're going to take a quick, I think 5-minute break. I believe it is. So for those of you who are on social media, whether you're on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, wherever you are, it's going to disappear, but we're going to come right back. If you are on Hand Radio, Hand TV, enjoy the musical break. We will be back in 5 minutes to discuss more of this cybersecurity stuff. Oh, no music. Oh, it ain't no music, y'all. Just
oh, it ain't no music?
It's going to be a video.
Oh,
so everybody, we're not going to go nowhere.
Yeah, don't go nowhere. Don't go nowhere.
Correction. Y'all can stay.
Yeah, don't go nowhere. We'll be back. 5 minute show. No, stay with us. Stay with us. Don't go nowhere. Yeah. Watch the video.
I've been going around and talking to young students from fourth grade all the way through to PhDs. And usually the questions that people ask me was, where did you guys keep your guns? Why didn't you like white people? I think still in schools we're still recognized as a Black nationalist hate movement. And there was never hate. As a matter of fact, one of the things that drew me to the Black Panther Party is that they loved the people so much. That in order to do that kind of work, in order to be that focused, you had to really love the people.
The Black Panthers are one of the most misunderstood civil rights groups in American history. Started in 1966 by Huey P. Newton and Bobby Seale as a way to protect Black communities against police brutality, the Panthers are often depicted as a violent organization, but many of their contributions to the communities they served, especially in terms of healthcare, are left out of history textbooks.
I think the dominant message from almost every textbook I've seen is putting the Panthers in what civil rights scholars have called the declension narrative, which is basically this idea that once the Black Power movement starts, but really after King's death in 1968, the civil rights movement declines, and you get these Black radicals who are just demanding too much and nonsensically turning to violent tactics. I don't think I've seen a single textbook that mentions the 100 or so social programs that the Black Panthers ran.
They're anti-capitalists, they're socialists, and they work with all poor people. In fact, they saw themselves as continuing Martin Luther King's work. People forget when King was assassinated, he was leading what he called the Poor People's Campaign. King advocated as a democratic socialist against what he called the exploitative tenets of materialism and capitalism.
And the goal of the Black Panther Party was to expose the problems in the society and then show that they weren't static, that they didn't have to be that way, but that there were ways in which to make those changes that were necessary. In particular, free quality health care was one of the key elements of the program of the Black Panther Party.
Cleo Silvers came to the South Bronx in the 60s as a healthcare volunteer and later joined the Harlem branch of the Black Panthers.
Now, the South Bronx is the congressional district in the United States with the lowest income per capita. It was then and continues to be today. So the conditions in the South Bronx were something that I had never seen before.
The area's main hospital was known for its horrendous treatment of its predominantly Black and brown patients. In fact, conditions were so bad that in 1970, Silvers took part in a protest where community activists, including the Panthers, occupied the hospital for one day.
Lincoln Hospital was known as the butcher shop. Conditions were really horrible. People were waiting for 72 hours to get seen. There was no heat in the emergency room. There's really bad stories about Lincoln Hospital and what could happen to you if you had to go to Lincoln Hospital.
When we talk about the impact of racism and the healthcare system, there is a long history of medical discrimination. We can think of the history that involves Black bodies being used as guinea pigs. Black women and women of color going to the doctors and getting illegally sterilized. And so this has caused a lot of mistrust. And then your zip code matters. Black communities that are in disenfranchised area, we have a history of not being protected. And so part of the history of medical discrimination is what the Panthers were trying to fight. Everything from first a Black community. And much of that understanding of the Black Panther Party has been written out of the public perceptions of the organization. It has a lot to do with the FBI and COINTELPRO.
COINTELPRO, which stands for Counterintelligence Program, was the FBI's illegal surveillance scheme.
They looked at the Panthers as a threat. And so they did everything you can think of, from infiltrating the organization to pushing lies in the media. The Panthers were actually about restorative care. They were actually about healing the community, mind, body, and soul. And that's placed on the margins of the history of the party.
The party disbanded in 1982, but the legacy of the Black Panthers continues to this day.
Many of the party programs were community-based and community-run. So the party would start them, they would establish them, and then before long, the community takes them over and the community runs them. So you could point to community clinics, health clinics, food programs, food banks, free busing to prison programs, the list goes on. They're still alive and well today as extensions and continuations of programs that the party started.
There are many kids that go to my high school that get their health care from the Carolyn Downs Clinic that was started by the Black Panther Party, and they don't know the history of where it came from. And it's really sad, because if students knew where their healthcare was coming from, they would gain lessons about how to organize and struggle against those barriers today.
Hello, welcome back to the Casual Convo Show. I'm your host, Coco, and of course, we got Big Boscoe from the Bronx, and we have a special guest that is definitely educating us tonight, Big Mike. Thank you, Mike, for not triggering me tonight. You have been a pleasure.
Oh yeah, nah.
But let me
It
say
has
this:
been a pleasure for me to host you.
I got a few texts. About Mike, and you got people digging what you're saying, man. So
Yes, absolutely.
Keep it rolling.
And I just want to say,
keep it rolling.
I apologize for the miscommunication during the break, but I also just wanted to add, before we get back to the show, I just wanted to add one thing about the video. I think that was actually a great video, especially because the Black Panther Party did contribute a lot to, especially poverty-stricken communities. And what we also, the thing that happened back then is what we see today. A lot of people don't understand healthcare is most important for stability, whether it's housing stability or for a stable lifestyle overall. Because when you are healthy and you feel your best, you do your best. Whether it's healthcare, meaning your mental health, your physical health, like everything as a whole is go into one. So I think it's important that we tend to shy away from that. And even when it comes down to nutrition, which is something that Ham Radio promotes a lot, is nutrition. But in order to be able to eat healthy, you also have to understand what a healthy lifestyle is, which is why I think the Black Panther Party focused more or a lot on healthcare, because that was an important piece, especially affordable healthcare in a community, which is really, really hard to come by. And even when we see people who are on like medical assistance, or you have your MCOs or things like that, they still get bottom of the barrel treatment in a lot of these institutions. So I think it's important for us to also push healthcare, stand behind healthcare, see what's going on in healthcare, especially for our community clinics, and things like that. Your FQHCs all over are really being under attack in a way of funding, in a way of certain things, because those are the ones that help the homeless, the lower, the lower income communities, the kids, and all of those things. And like Mike said, and they unfortunately, we don't have a lot of us working in these facilities, so you have a lot of people who cannot relate, which is why a lot of people don't come back and utilize that. So I think we might want to, you know, dive into that conversation again about having more of us in healthcare, because we always say we want somebody to look like us that we can relate to, but we can't because there are not many of us, especially when it comes to mental health. That's the biggest thing and the biggest issue I run into daily is a lot of people that I work with to connect them to, you know, those services. The issue is they can't relate, and
Yeah.
that's where the barrier comes. But anyway, I just wanted to do that little spiel. Um, so Mike was teaching me, was going to teach me how to how to have $1 billion in this IT
I'm
in
working
this
on
IT game. Mike, show me how to get rich, bro. Like, no, I'm joking.
it.
No, you ain't.
No, so I know two black millionaires
Mhm.
in Maryland.
Say that again.
So I know. Hold on. So I know two black millionaires.
Mhm.
They one just sold his company.
Mhm.
Um, he started it in like 2007, Mr. Phil, and they
Okay.
just sold it to a company called Realm One. I think he sold it for like I don't know, like almost like 350 million, probably. Maybe I'm over
Mhm.
exaggerating, but that was a lot of money,
Hmm.
right? Cool guy. He basically my mentor. Him and the guy named Mr. Tim. So I'm gonna try to open up my business soon.
Word.
Okay, so
Um,
what you said you was going to introduce us to something? That's what you had said?
yeah, I mean you gotta follow this. All right, so this is what happens with IT people in general,
Mhm.
especially in the black community. For some reason, the black community think we Urkels, like with this weirdo shit, like we awkwardly on some can't pull no chicks.
Mm-hmm.
We stalking and all this other stuff.
Mhm.
I played football in high school. Like I
Mhm.
wrestled in high school. I boxed. Like all this stuff. So I think like the
You did
negative
MMA
comment.
fighting too, right? Oh, ground fighting.
Yeah, I
Oh, and
did.
while you were okay.
Yeah, so but I think it's the white people have a positivity of IT. Say go get the bag. Asians the same way. Black people is the only ones that have like this nerd complex with IT. And
Yes.
I think it's the most dumbest thing in the world that you're gonna everybody's not a nerd. Like everybody isn't awkward. We wasn't sitting in the house like playing with Yu-Gi-Oh cards. You know, so even
Right.
though they
Right.
worth a lot of money now, I
Yeah.
just learned. I should have kept a few. But there's one with 35,000 right now. Like who?
Yeah.
So, but it's a stigma with it. So the stigma goes with IT is either we nerds or
Mhm.
right now we arrogant and cocky. Like people don't understand. Like IT is a show improve field. Okay, so I
Yeah.
give you an example. When you go to get a job, you selling yourself and your resume. When I go get a job, I'm selling myself, my resume, and then I have a technical assessment. Right? That technical assessment, I'm sitting in front of master network engineers.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm sitting in front of a network manager and I got a whiteboard and they asking me draw this and draw that and these commands this and these commands that. And I gotta come in ready to do it each time. Right? Don't get it messed up. I may write a command wrong. Oh well,
Mhm.
Mike, we understand where you coming from. Yeah, but you just messed up. I just lost $20,000 in the proposal though. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I'd have got it right, then they would have offered me something
Right.
more. So when people go, "Well, Mike, you arrogant," well, I earned everything I got.
I hear
I'm
you.
the only black IT guy from Park Heights. You can find nobody else. I sit on the stoop with everybody.
Mhm.
Can we
I
break
make sure.
something down real quick? Not to cut you off. I'm sorry. Can
Mhm.
you go into the difference? And I think this is something Bosco also mentioned too. When you have accolades, and like you said, you work hard for it. So I think for me, it's okay to polish. You know what I mean? It's okay to
Mhm.
be confident. It's okay to be proud of your accomplishments and what you
Mhm.
do. And I
Mhm.
think a lot of times, especially within our communities, we think it's arrogance when it's really like, why should I dumb myself down or why should I not be proud of the accomplishments that I've made. So you want to dissect into that a little bit?
Yeah, so let me help you out. So it was hard for me to celebrate my wins. You know what I'm saying? I got homies in jail. I got people mamas and all that. Roofs had holes in them. I came home in 2013 at the building myself up from Florida, and everybody was on Facebook with the lies. I had a homeboy that was homeless. You know what I'm saying? Boom, man, you come stay with me. You know what I'm saying? I got one bed. You can sleep on this floor till we get this air mattress. You know what I'm saying? But what people don't know is that when I was in Florida, I was homeless. I got homeless in Florida during me going to school. I was sleeping in the park. You know what I'm saying? With a blanket. It was me. Like my mother was mad. Why you ain't tell me? Because I haven't finished what I started. You see what I'm saying? So when I came home and I got my first job with Amtrak, you see what I'm saying? I made my first 45,000 in 2010. That was money. So I told to myself, I'm like, well, damn, I'm getting this money. Let me help out everybody. Bro, what you need, bro? What you got, man? Like, what's happening with the family? And I found myself, like, being taken advantage of as a friend.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because Mike got it. Like, Mike got it. Like, you need some diapers, go holler at Mike. You know what I'm saying? I found myself like, oh, let me help this person out. Let me help this person out. And then I would get with homies that was in the IT, but wouldn't follow me. You see what I'm saying? I ain't fucking with Mike. I don't want nobody to be like, yeah, yo, the only reason why I'm here because, you know, Mike helped me get here. And I'm like, yo, you know, a Cuban lady helped me get here. You know what I'm saying? A Cuban lady see me, Miss Rodriguez.
Okay. No, we always name drop on some other stuff. So I think it's cool to name drop on some positives.
Yeah, so she helped me get here, right? When I got done with my certification, I walked in the room. You know what I'm saying? Because you know you gotta do the where you want to be at. I told the lady, I forgot her name. She in my email. I said I want to be a network engineer. She said, Mike, I think that work is too hard. Well, as soon as she said that, guess what I became? A year later, a junior network engineer. You know what I'm saying? So I came back like I can help everybody. I can help everybody. I can help everybody. And then I had to realize, like, yo, you can't help everybody. You gotta look out for self.
Yeah.
Right. So I think in 2018 is when I felt comfortable with talking my shit. Right. I'm from the hood still, so I think I owe the hood something. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going back to the hood. I'm trying to pull up a few people. I got a few young boys. They they with it. You know what I'm saying? I started a group. You know what I'm saying? The group's still live. You know what I'm saying? I met me and a chick from New York. She's a cybersecurity genius. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to mess up her name because she always be mad at me, Issa. You know what I'm saying? She came down here and got busy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm looking at my hometown. Like, bro, I'm from the land. I'm from the city, man. This should be easy. Nah, man, it's the hardest thing in the world. I can motivate a person in Canada before motivating a person in Baltimore, and you see me every day.
Yep.
And instead of asking like, "Yo, put me on," they're like this. Yo, Mike, let me get $100. Hey, yo, Mike, yo, let me give me $20. This year, I think is the first time that I said I'm gonna tell people no, and people got mad about it. Like,
that's how it is, man.
But I do remember. I'm sorry to cut you off. I do remember. I'm gonna say especially when I found out Mike was going back for his degree. We were going back around the same time, and because he hit me up because I was complaining about something. Mike hit me up, and I'm like, "Bruh, I need help." So he like, "What is it?" And I forget it. But during that time, he was like, "If you want to do this, like, hit me up." Like, pretty much, I'm giving you, I'm opening the pearly gates for you to walk through them.
Yeah.
And it was kind of, and you start seeing the change. Like, I can't just hand it to you. You actually I can open the door, but you got to walk through it and you got to go up the steps, to get to where you want to go. I just can't put you up there and then like boom, here you go and land you a 6 to 7 figure job. That's not how that works.
No.
But I do agree with him, especially, and I know this is probably like this in a lot of states, but here your biggest support and your motivators and the people who will really take your advice and take that, you know, your walk seriously are people that's not from where you from. And it's sad to say that like your biggest support is your biggest motivators will come from people who you don't even know. It's like the people who know you won't support you unless it's beneficial for them.
Yep.
And that's sad to say.
So think about it. I think I've been talking about IT for like 15, 16 years on my page. You know what I'm saying? I even told people, say, listen, man, your kid can get certified right now and they're 15. Right now. Two,
Well, I
three
do have
summers.
someone that wants to connect with you. I mentioned, like I said, I mentioned you coming onto the show, and they were like, "Damn, like how you know?" I was like, "It's not like he what do they call it? A recruiter, whatever, nothing like that." I said he knows the resources. He can connect you to the resources. So he was like, "Okay, so can I have him hit you up?"
Yeah, sure. I don't care. Everybody, look, this is the one thing that I learned. Like, um, I gotta post a certification on my page, right? But I gotta post the money that you can make, right? So people they'll be like, "Well, Mike, how much money you make?" I give them a ballpark figure. Like I make like $120,000. Oh, Mike, that's a lot of money, man. I'm trying to do that. I never tell people how much I really make. You know what I'm saying? Because at this point in my life, the money doesn't matter if you're not gonna go get the skills. You feel me?
Exactly.
Booyah.
So when you say, like I just dropped Udemy, shit, it's $20 a month right now, easy. You know what I'm saying? And J-Bed went and grabbed that. You feel me? It's simple. It's just all you got to do is understand there's paths in IT. So let me explain the paths that nobody explained to people. So the easiest path to get in is help desk, right?
Okay, yeah, I heard
It's
about
the
help
Who
desk.
explain help desk? Because I call them every day.
I'm gonna tell you.
Dang, Coco.
So
The one IT guy, he just hit me up every day now. As soon as he see me, you good? Yeah.
Hey.
so help desk is easy to get into because it's the entry level if you're dealing with the customer base,
Yeah.
right? And then you get to touch everything that's in the office, telephones, everything. So you get your intro into every device, right? Then there's the system side. Like if you love people, you love helping people out. This is where you at. This is where you interact with users, end users. You're looking at what services you can bring to them. You know, you're in a lot of friendly meetings. You
Yes.
eat a lot. So if you want to eat for free, go into systems. Um, Networking is for the guys who don't like people.
Okay.
Like most network guys, we're introverts. Like
Yeah, I don't like people.
yeah, so I don't want to interact with you, and like you
Yeah,
know,
I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to interact with you.
until you become like a senior or something. If you get like senior in front of your name, you'll be in a whole bunch of meetings like me. But in the beginning, you want to learn the craft,
Yeah.
disappear, get off at time, get your money, and go.
Yeah.
Um, then there's the new thing called DevOps, where now is software development, especially with like software defined networks, which is brand new. Cisco leading the way. Um, and then this for most people is management. So you don't even have to learn IT. You just got to manage people. You get your PMP, your ITIL, your Scrum Master. Like
You know for the slow people in the back.
okay,
Can you tell us
okay,
what
okay. So
what does that stand for? Because you know we go. You know you got people on here googling. You got like J-Bed. He's like he right. So people are you're literally giving people information that they're literally looking up as they're talking to you, and they're like completely invested. So yeah.
all right. So your PMP is your project management certification. Now the project management certification is broad. Once you get it, you can go into IT, healthcare. You can do whatever you want with the certification. But if you become an IT project manager, you make bread. like
Mhm.
money,
Yeah.
right? And you don't have to know anything about IT. All you gotta do is manage the project, right? It'll is, and it's a British. The British made it. It's like I can't really explain it unless I look it up. But it's about life cycling.
Okay.
It's about software defining, upgrading, design. So you're going into meetings and you're seeing what the company wants. You find them. You talk to your software developers. Your job is to keep an eye on them, work with the project and program managers, making sure they get the job done. Then there's the scrum master who aligns with the software people and the ITIO person, and they make sure that everything's on the up and up.
Mhm.
And most of the time, they're dealing with like making sure that the project, especially when the software designing, can overcome the bumps and bruises. So those are the easiest ones to get. You get a scrum master tonight. You can go on the website right now, pay your
Mhm.
$1,400, take the test. It's open book test too. So it ain't like you can
For
do it
real? I
tonight.
can pass it.
You can do it tonight.
Send me the link.
Yeah, I'll get you the link. You can do it tonight, right?
You think I'm joking?
You pay for the class. You can go in the class. It's self-paced. If you want to
Mhm.
go to the classroom setting, you schedule the days and then you go and get it. So those are the lanes, right? Those are the lanes. More technical management is a certification that called CISSP, Certified Informational Systems
I heard
something.
of that.
So it's management, but the security side you have to be technical.
Mhm.
Um, and so those are the management. You ain't never got to learn IT. Majority of the time, I don't talk to these people unless we in meetings because y'all know y'all don't have a clue.
Mhm.
But you want to
So
make
you the
300,
people that the people who like be the director of IT, they call because they really don't know the answer. They be like, 1 second,
right?
I get right back to you. Then
Yeah.
they
So
call
you
you and be like, so what? How do I answer this?
yeah. So
Okay,
this how it usually works. So you majority of your directors of IT don't have a certification.
I figured that.
Mhm.
They just have a management cert,
Okay.
right? They just a
That's the
man.
one I'm gonna get that I can paste with the open book, right?
Well, Scrum Master will get you. Scrum Master will get you into like Walgreens and stuff like that. Like you can work for them
Mhm.
contractual and be chilling from home.
Oh,
So, um, yeah. So,
sign me up.
um, so the management ones are easy to get. The PMP,
Mhm.
you got to have your bachelor's degree, or you still got to get the number of hours. There's some requirements that you have to do before you can take it.
Mhm.
Is there a limitation of the amount of certs that you can get? Because I see you got about 1,000. So
No,
can
no,
you
no.
get as many as you want, or is it? Let me ask you this: is it that you can get as many certs as you want for different specialties, or is it a thing where like in healthcare, what we do when it gets in on if you want to get into the billing piece or the technical side of like coding and all of that stuff, every so often the codes and everything are updated, changed, or whatever. Is that the same thing? Where so when you go for your certs, it's for a more updated version?
All right, so let's talk about. You can get as many certs as your money can buy. Good luck with that. Um, there's actually a guy that got like he got the most certs in the world. Um, but it's frowned upon in IT to be a jack of all trades.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Really?
This is a samurai. This is a school. This is a
Why
school of learning.
why is it frowned upon though? I'm curious for that.
Okay, so you ever take a person and he specializes in all type of fighting,
Right.
and he really can't fight?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He knows a few moves that get you on the
Mhm.
ground. He punch you a few times, knee you.
Mhm.
Okay.
And that's it. That's all he got. But if he meet a person that just know karate, and I'm talking well, like like a red belt, yeah,
Hmm.
Yeah.
he'll smash you out.
Yeah.
NIT is the same way. So you
Okay.
get people that say, I got 1,000,000 certs, right?
Yeah.
And we go, well, what's your specialty?
Mm.
I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah, I don't know. Your specialty was what gets you paid.
Yeah.
Very true.
So
I'm gonna
you
take
ask,
that.
so our certifications expire every 3 years, right? But we have what they call continuous education learning, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
So you
That's
go
what happened
back.
in my field. Yeah.
Yeah. So like Cisco, you can go pay $1,000 and then you go take you go do whatever you do to get your credits and then upgrade your cert.
So do y'all do like how they do in healthcare? We call them like CEUs or whatever.
Yeah, CUs, yeah.
So when you go do those, do you guys get to like go like out of town? You know how sometimes they have like certain ones, or is it just all online?
No, you're an IT person. Everything online. Now, don't get it messed up. You can go to Cisco Live because I'm going this year. I'm paying my
Okay.
$3,000. I'm making it to Vegas, baby.
So it is
That,
optional that you can do like something where you can do like the network and do like
yeah, you go to
the
Cisco Live. You can go sit in the
okay,
classroom.
yeah,
All right,
okay.
so like right now, let's say if I wanted to go and do my search, right? If I
Mhm.
want to do my CUs, I can go either to Essex or
Hmm.
Howard Community College.
Okay, I was being
So,
Howard.
and Howard Community College is actually a Cisco Network Academy. That's what people don't
Okay.
know. Like, you actually can learn it, get accredited, and also join the academy back in the day for free. So
Mm.
now Cisco said, well, you don't have to go to the colleges. You just register online. You log yourself in. Boom, they put you in the academy. You pay for the classes. You take it online in your house.
Mm.
Okay.
Um, but
That's
the
the
most
business.
but the most important thing is that you got to find out what works for you. Like
Yeah.
healthcare IT is huge, right? People don't even know like healthcare
I
IT
don't like when they
is
be when they get mad at us though,
no,
pertaining
no, 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 no. I ain't talking.
specifically me. Because this be the thing, you can't give me nothing refurbished. And then when I just go and I put my little login in, like I normally do every day, I do the same technique. Push the button, log
Mhm.
on, put your password in, and then if this keeps spinning and spinning, and then I do everything y'all told me to do the last 4 times y'all told me. I do the restart, that don't work. I do the hard whatever, that don't work. So then when I call you, it's always one of y'all that not saying no offense to you because I know you the shit, but it's always that one. What you do now? First of all, you here for me. Don't do me like that. You come and fix this because I did everything that you told me to do. So the one time, let me tell you about the one time. The one time, dude tried to get smart with me, try to tell me I broke the shit. No, I didn't. I've been telling you it's broke. It don't work. It's slow. It's your internet. I don't know what y'all got. You might gotta get the new ones. I don't know. Something. So he tried to make me wait the whole day. Excuse you, sir. I got notes and stuff to do. Don't do this. I gotta see people. So then he comes down, my whole base jacked up. So he gonna look at me, scratch his head. You sure you did was this login? Nigga. Yes. That's your chat. I don't take that on.
Okay, so let me explain something. That's not healthcare IT.
But that's it.
That's just IT.
But he got on my nerves that
So,
day because I ain't like that. And every time I call him now, so that's the one that called me now because he got I got on his nerves every day for a week. But it wasn't technically my fault though. It wasn't. It was on them. They gave me some messed up um stuff. So now he just be like, "You all right today?" That's literally how I go. You all right today? And I'm like, "Good morning."
so let me tell you something. When you get off here, Google healthcare informatics.
Okay.
That's healthcare IT.
What they do? So I can get on their nerves.
No, just look it up. You got
You
to
know me,
learn.
and I'm gonna
You
go on
have
there
to.
like I'm an IT professional. You know that, right?
Well, what it is that you now this what healthcare informatics do. You have to actually learn medical terminology. They were trying to recruit all of it. They were trying to recruit medical assistants and everybody in medical to transition over to IT, and the women wouldn't do it. Right, and they started doing it in the University of Maryland because I sat in the class.
For real?
I had a friend that was in the at 30 and over group. I sent her the healthcare IT cert before they expired it,
Mm-hmm.
and she got it. All
Oh,
she
I
you gotta
know
do is
my
ask. Yeah, I
terminology.
get.
I like the back of
Yeah.
my hands. No, because
Hmm.
it's like if I have a system and if I'm doing like for instance, like one of the issues I had was I could get on, right? I could do everything and I'm if I have a telehealth, right? Now my in person was fine, but when I went and did my telehealth and I go to click on, to start the visit. So one, I had a camera, but it wasn't connecting to them. That's not on me. That's on y'all, right?
Yeah. It's
Everything
from the
was
VTC
connected, the
team. Yeah.
VPN, all of that stuff was connected. So I'm like, okay, I'll just call, and I just did it over the phone, and I just, made the note. So then the other issue that I had was when I tried to go in to go do it, a lot of time my note would not come up. I'm sorry.
No, you straight.
I be breaking. So JB, yes, I don't break nobody's stuff. When I do break stuff, I admit to when I know I broke it because I pushed something I ain't had no business pushing. Because one time I was pushing all the buttons, and because they were taking too long.
That's why.
So
That's why I got.
What I said was, "Hey."
You know what? That's why
like,
I got a Windows 7 over here. I still got a Windows Laptop XP back there, and of course I got my updated 11s here. I do my crazy stuff on the 7 and my XP, and if I gotta do something, I'm like, okay, if it crashed, it just crashed. I got my 11 right here, and I got my 11 right here. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't know about none of that you just said. I just know turn it on, turn it off. I don't know what's going on over here.
Anyway, we're gonna transition to Juneteenth. I know we're gonna ruffle feathers. And shouts out to Mike because I ain't gonna lie, I was sitting here on my phone just like
Mike, you gonna come back next week?
That's why I was quiet.
Yeah.
I was taking notes.
Right. Mike coming back next week. We're gonna finish with IT next week.
I was taking notes. I was like, that's why I kept my head down.
I'm gonna have my certification by then.
I'll take notes.
I mean, you could in a week.
Yeah.
I know a girl that did it in a week. It's self-taught.
Yeah, after I get off of here, I'm going on and start. Yeah, doing.
Yeah, I'll get the link from.
Oh, that's my Bosco gonna help me. Then Bosco, you gonna help me?
Y'all can do it together. I know. Yeah.
Come on, Raider wanted to do it too, so I'll help you out.
I know. What we doing? Well, I mean, it's all available.
Anyway, let's get on this Juneteenth.
All right. So hold on. Before you get negative,
hold
on. So listen, let me tell you about Juneteenth from my perspective.
Yeah. Do you
so my grandmother and them never celebrated there. Right? Like in Florida, it's a big thing. Like because they were never slaves, so they never had to celebrate it.
Right.
And how it all came to be is kind of like it's kind of like it's mystic behind it. It's not like factual.
You about to steal my thunder, but go ahead.
No, I'm not. No, I'm about to get off here.
I want you to.
No, I'm lubing it up because I know you.
Okay, leave. Okay,
I'm gonna lube it up here. Yo,
I got you, Samika.
So what happens is a lot of black people who wasn't slaves don't acknowledge it.
Mm-hmm.
And the black people who were slaves got it told from the white man's perspective. And don't get it messed up. I was a kid down south in South Carolina. We was going to the parades and all that. There was girls there, so we followed the girls.
Of course.
In Louisiana, when I went with my cousin, it was super huge. I ain't never, man. They love it. Like they were like, it's like a second Mardi Gras.
Yeah.
I don't like how the government try to give us like stupid holidays, like it was in the patronizing. I ain't mad. I get paid when I'm off, so I'm good with that. But it's kind of like it's a little bit. It's 4 days after my birthday. 5 days after my birthday. So
Gemini's unite.
You know it. So it's.
You said 5 days. What's your birthday?
The 14th. 14th. 14th.
He a June Gemini.
I am too. I'm on June 9th.
Yeah.
I knew it was June Gemini. I just didn't know where.
Yeah. Because Bosco's birthday is on my mother's birthday. So
June 12th.
Yeah, he's June 12th. You don't even made one up in this.
I'm around about all these men's that's June Gemini.
Yeah. Right. We're telling to the moon. But go ahead.
So what happens is it's all I can say is that it didn't really like. I don't feel no type of way about it. I know the history's been distorted. But yeah, I know a lot of people, especially a lot of people that was around, has mixed feelings about it. So I'm about to shut up, and I know Bosco about to go hard because it's a whole bunch on that.
He already know how I feel about it. You want me to tell you how
Well,
I feel so you can go in?
yeah. You can open.
So my thing with Juneteenth, I felt like when we first started talking about Juneteenth, it was oh boom boom boom, this is what it is, and everybody was like F Juneteenth, da 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 da. Everybody was so against it, right? Then it went from oh it's being against, and then when people started making merch. When we started making merch and it was selling, okay, the following year it was like, oh well, you guys have the choice of having the day off, but you had to use your PTO, right?
Yeah.
So they saw how many people was like that we go, all right, PTO in there, we off.
Yeah.
Then it went from you can have this day or President's Day, vote on it. So when they realized we wanted the Juneteenth, when it started to be okay, and next thing I know, I started seeing a Juneteenth merch in Walmart, Target, all of these other places. It became so much to capitalize off of it, and we was up for it, buying the merch. It became another way for this country to get money off of whatever they thought, and it was the black dollar. So I look at it like complete bullshit because it wasn't even the purpose of what it allegedly was supposed to have been. It was more so let's just make some money off of these motherfuckers because they gonna spend it anyway because they think they celebrating them.
Okay. Yeah. I'm going to give you my opinion, and anyone listening, you can take it the way you want. My opinion: Juneteenth is bullshit. My mother taught me this years ago. Juneteenth is bullshit. I'm going to tell you why. It's supposed to be when Africans got emancipated from slavery, right? What replaced slavery? Sharecropping. All those people who got free got their little pieces of land. They were able to make their stuff on whoever's land. But guess what happened? If they didn't have the money or make the money on that land, just like in slavery, they were beaten, they were murdered. Juneteenth is slavery by another name. I mean, sharecropping is slavery by another name. If you celebrate, you need to look up Juneteenth. You need to look up sharecropping. Look it up. The 40 acres in the mule, we supposed to got that. Some people got the 40 acres, but that 40 acres was jacked by the same people that enslaved Africans. The same people. Texas was the last state to abolish it. But even after Texas abolished it, slavery, whatever, there were still states still doing it. Sharecropping. Look it up.
Oh, so I give them one more breadcrumb that black people don't know is you gotta look at the black laws, the black codes that came after slavery, right? The sheriff department was
You
made
said the
after
black
slavery.
what?
The black
The,
laws.
the black laws.
Laws. Oh, okay.
Laws,
Yeah,
codes,
so they call the vagrancy laws. All the loitering and all that stuff, all that comes from the black laws, right? If they locked you up, you went back to doing sharecropping. All you gotta do is look at the movie Life.
Exactly.
Every road, yeah, every road, oh, every penitentiary, um, every bridge was built by slaves. They just called them prisoners.
Right.
Um, if you actually look at the 13th Amendment, they tell you the only how you become a slave or lose all your rights is basically being a criminal.
Yep.
So they came up with vagrancy laws, and they made a police force, which was the sheriff force, was nothing
Oh
but
yeah.
they were nothing but the overseers and the slave catchers anyway. Um, so you're looking at Juneteenth was the last, wasn't even a holiday. It's just that the news got to Galveston, Texas long. That's all. Um, after that, that's why when you think about slavery, y'all start thinking about this root shit, right? But y'all know Alex Haley got sued. You know what I'm saying? The roots wasn't real. So
yeah, a lot of it was fabricated. Yeah.
yeah, so slavery isn't what they painted Hollywood. Slavery was sharecropping.
Basically.
If you read the Gettysburg Address, he talk about you getting Lincoln addressed the sharecropping about you getting paid the right wage that you're supposed to make. So who he talking to?
Preach.
Because he ain't talking to the white people. The white people dying. So we talking about working hard
Right.
and getting the equal pay because we were doing it. They paint a picture with slavery where they go, oh yeah, he was a slave, but he was going around doing work. He was able to buy his freedom. Where the fuck you hear that from? Nah, he already had his freedom. He just lost the land.
Thank you.
Paper genocide. That's how it was. So
Thank you.
you know what I'm saying? But you look at it during the Civil War, they came out with the greenback.
I'm sorry. You know, when you start using terms, I have to interject. Only because for those who may not know, can you explain paper genocide?
Okay.
No, I'm
So
dead serious.
yeah.
I know.
Yeah, so,
You
all right.
just do it like I do, like just for the people who don't know, you know.
All right. So before paper, we had a bartering system here.
Mhm.
There was no coins here. Coins were still in England. So even with the Native Americans and the black natives, that's what you did. You if you had cows, you know what I'm saying, I traded the cows for whatever you had. Right?
Exactly.
White people don't farm. White people couldn't farm.
They couldn't farm.
They had no idea. You know that by it's a book that you can find. It's called the first settlers of America in 1525. It's in Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
They went and they brought some Africans, but they didn't bring no Africans for real. They brought some Filipino niggas.
Yep.
That's why we got good hair. Right? They brought some West Indian niggas.
That's what my aunt told me years ago.
Yeah, and what they found out is that it get cold in Virginia. It got so cold they start eating. They start eating the people. They start eating each other. When the slaves found out that they were weak, they ended up setting the stuff on fire, and then they ran into the woods. So once you know that, you know they ain't bring a whole bunch of niggas here, right? Because you got to look at you're running away and you're living in swamps with gators.
Yep.
Right? You go to North Carolina, there's a whole swamp that the slaves ran to and lived there. Even to this day, they still got houses in those swamps.
Plenty.
Well, if you're from Africa, if you're from Africa, how the hell do you know about some swamp? Because there ain't no swamp land in
Africa. You know something, Mike? What you just said, I'm gonna add on to that, and I'm gonna read Samika's comment because Samika nailed it. I want anyone listening to this show, look up Hendersonville, North Carolina, because my family tree is called Featherstones. Look up the Featherstone Cemetery. My relatives, slaves, are buried there. It's like maybe 20 minutes from me. Look it up. It's online. It's a national thing here. And what Samika said, and a lot of them died from the same way. Like we got a place called Merriman Avenue here. That guy was a slave owner. He took that property from my great-great-grandfather. It's a monument here. They took it down. It's called the not the wolf, I can't think of his name, but it was a monument they had right in the center of the city. They just took it down 2 years ago. My relatives was one of the first ones whipped and lynched at that monument. Sharecropping. This is during the sharecropping period. Like Samika said, we were still in bondage way after basically slavery. My ancestors worked on a plantation called Pottersville Smith Farm. My aunt wrote a book about her experience growing up. She got the link in and everything. The house surrounded by the sugarcane, the Smith Jenkins farm. She has a link in there.
Go get it. Go get it.
Yeah. I'm gonna check it out too. That's why, and I know a lot of people are locally gonna be mad at me, but this is why I had a beef a couple of years ago with this whole June. Because I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it the way I want to say it. Niggas here made a big beef about Juneteenth. And I told them, I said, look, y'all need to cut this bullshit out because y'all are celebrating a fake ass holiday. We were still enslaved after so-called Juneteenth. It was called sharecropping. Slavery by another name. Juneteenth is a farce because the same ones who got the property, and I reiterate, the same ones who got the property after Juneteenth ended up losing all their shit to the same people that set them free. Juneteenth is bullshit. If you want to take the day off, take the day off. If you want to grill out, so be it. But these people, like you say, Coco, it's a corporate thing. They getting our money. That's why if you go different places, we don't have the power to do our celebrations because they're getting the money. We got to pay them to have our celebration. And we're celebrating. Why do we have to pay? And it's going to sound racist, but it's not racist. Why do we got to pay white men to celebrate what is supposed to be our day? Juneteenth is bullshit. And I'll challenge anybody.
They didn't want that money to go back into black families. So what was
it's not going back in. That's it. It's not going back into black families.
What was happening?
No, I'm agreeing with you. I'm agreeing with you.
That's what I'm saying. We were doing it, but now all of a sudden it's like, so that takes away because they know we don't support us.
No,
that's not. So listen. So let me explain what happened. So Juneteenth.
Every time Mike leaned back, I know he about to.
He about to say something.
So let me get comfortable, wait my turn.
Yeah, so listen. So Juneteenth has always been celebrated. The problem is that we didn't include anybody. Mm-hmm. This is what usually happens when they market it, right?
Yeah.
When they started marketing it, then black people started accepting everybody with the Juneteenth shit, right?
And that's our problem, Mike.
So we want this inclusion shit. For some odd reason, it's always this inclusion, right? And just like how I'm reading Paul joint, so Juneteenth didn't stop white people from killing us.
No.
Okay, Juneteenth didn't do a lot of shit for us, right?
No.
The laws that came after Juneteenth is still used in the books now. You get locked up for loitering, you get locked up for trespassing,
vagrancy,
you get locked vagrancy and all that. Those are the vagrancy laws. That's how they was able to lock us up.
Mike, look what came up after Juneteenth. Jim Crow, redlining. Look at the Southern Strategy. All this stuff came after Juneteenth.
Yeah, but I'm talking about after.
I'm agreeing with you.
Because I'm answering Paul things. So afterwards.
What part we got to read the comment that answer?
White people wasn't allowing no freedom of people. They were just working for them. I had to edit my tie off because I was blocked for a minute. But I'm telling you, that's what he said. You told me read it. So let me tell you what happened. If you
hold on.
Yeah, freedom isn't. So what happens is that they did two things. So one, they let us do Reconstruction, right? They knew we was gonna fail Reconstruction. We didn't. Right. They let us. They got us with the Freedmen Bank. When that started getting messed up, they went and got Frederick Douglass so he could take the blame of the failure, and then they kept the money. The census of like the 17 something, when they found out we was deeper than them, they went in and they burnt the census building down.
Keep on going.
So now you can't trace hardly none of your people back. Nope. Right? All this came after Juneteenth.
All we came after Juneteenth. Okay?
Black people been celebrating Juneteenth as long as I can remember. Just niggas. Right? I never seen no white people there. Florida was no white people there. Louisiana wasn't no white people there. I ain't never seen no white people there.
Nope.
Now that it's popular, it's going to get treated like when St. Patty's Day come around and I see a whole bunch of ladies with green on that's black getting drunk in the pub.
Let's go stop laughing because I'm trying to be straight.
I ain't say nothing.
Before you read Samika's comment, Mike nailed it. That's the stuff I was going to say. He nailed it. Because see, that's why I have a problem with. And there was just so much stuff after Juneteenth to say, what part of Juneteenth do we need to celebrate? Because you start getting into the redlining, the Southern Strategy, Jim Crow. You get into all this stuff. You get into the Black massacres where they were tearing our communities down. You got Greensboro. You got Atlanta. You got New York. You got all these places.
But this tracks back to North Carolina. I wanted to highlight because we got Samika who's in Louisiana, so she's really giving history lessons in the comment section.
She is.
And I really think we should highlight what she's saying. So I'm gonna go back. So I'm gonna go back to when she said the same thing. My family has a family cemetery right on that plantation in response to Bosco. Then then so but oh
Yeah,
so
well,
then Jabez says something about what's the name of it? Talking to Bosco. So he was talking about
The
your family.
Featherstone, Feather's. It's Feather and Stone, one whole word. Cemetery,
All right,
Hendersonville, North Carolina.
there you go. So then Samika says, man, that shit belongs to my family. They changed the name so we couldn't get it. We got some real life Queen Sugar stuff going on with us about that land. So I think it's important to say that because she's in Louisiana, you're talking about you're talking about North Carolina. So I think it's important to understand literally we always talk about what history is missing and what is not and what is not available today. Just today, do you know how far back in history we don't went with today's generation?
Yes. You know, so Samika, I mean, not Samika, you know, well, I'm going to say it's Samika's thing. The thing about it, like she said about her, like the property where ours was, we couldn't even go on there at one point. They wouldn't even let us go there. And I was like, yo, I'm straight lineage. It wasn't until the people moved away that we were able to go on the property, the cemetery. They wouldn't let us. It's another cemetery, Ebenezer Cemetery in Hendersonville, North Carolina. We got a lot of slaves there. And they got a few white ones because those are the ones who ran with the slaves. Said, no, you ain't gonna beat them. They're buried there. Like my great aunt is buried there. Lucinda Featherstone, 8 kids. She was blind, had 2 gray eyes. 8 kids. One of the kids was in the military. Buried there. It said Lucinda Featherstone, 1880, and her kids. That's why I don't celebrate no Juneteenth. She got beat to this. She got beat into blindness. This is right after Juneteenth. Fuck Juneteenth. And fuck you if you celebrate it, because you celebrate. I'm saying this is my point. I mean, I don't mean it personally. I'm saying because people, and I got so much shit 2 years ago from people about Juneteenth. I got a lot of shit, and I mean I got shit from people here. I got called, you're not from here, blah 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 blah. Juneteenth, sharecropping, slavery by another name. There's also a documentary they call the same thing, Slavery by Another Name. This is one of them holidays they gave up. Give these niggas this holiday.
Which one is it?
It's called Slavery by Another Name. That's the name of it. Slavery by Another Name.
Yeah, it's a documentary.
It's a documentary.
And my great grandmother, my great grandmother in it.
A word. It's a good
yeah.
Damn good documentary.
So my great grandmother in it, my grandmother in it.
Holidays. Okay, what's the name of it again?
Slavery by Another Name.
Slavery by Another Name. It's a whole documentary.
It's a good one.
And they really introducing it. So that's how this works. This is what most black people don't understand. Black people think like, so black people feel like, oh, well, sharecropping was terrible, right? You know that
who gonna answer J Beto? He asking questions. Well, he said he gonna burn all his shirts.
Oh, and then you already paid for them.
And then
you pay for them.
And he said, so he said, who made Juneteenth anyway? So he been buying shirts.
Black people. Black people started celebrating it.
Yeah, black people.
Yeah, they've been to Texas all the time every year. If you go down to Galveston during Juneteenth, it's a whole party,
a whole joint. And they were the last ones that basically say, "Okay, we're done with slavery."
Yeah,
that's the funny thing about it.
Yeah, so in this documentary,
it's a damn good documentary.
My great uncles and them used sharecropping so they could run a moonshine from Florida to Rochester, New York.
Yeah, because Daddy he knew how to make moonshine. My uncle still make it to this day.
Yeah, so do mine. Yeah, so my great uncle Charlie and them was in the business of running moonshine from Florida to New York, right? And they did shake and I listen, huh?
So this day.
No, not to.
But let me apologize. I don't mean it personally to anyone. It's just it kills me when we make a big deal out of Juneteenth. It's like niggas will accept anything and invite anyone to the table, and that's our problem. We invite anyone to the table, and we'll invite the person to the table who we know damn well is trying to redo the table.
Yeah,
we do that. I don't celebrate Juneteenth. I won't too much stuff happen after Juneteenth for me to say we were free. Because that's what Juneteenth is about, the emancipation proclamation. If we're not free, why the hell are we celebrating Juneteenth?
Can I say something? I had a dinner with some people that were from Africa, right?
Mm-hmm.
The one thing they said that I really agree with, because the conversation came up about how Africans view African Americans, right? So we had a really nice, constructive conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So the one thing that they said that I do think I definitely agree with is the same thing like what Boscoe was saying. Even when it was ours, we allow everyone to infiltrate everything of. We don't keep anything and stand in solidarity of what is ours. So it's kind of like nothing belongs. We don't identify with anything, especially here. We don't really have a culture.
We don't.
We do though.
We do, but we just don't.
All right, so hold on.
No. Hear me out. When I say culture, okay. When we look at other races and other cultures, and I might take it to another level. I'm sorry, give me like 5 minutes. So when we talk about cultures, when you have people that come over from Africa, from different things, they have a culture, they have certain morals, certain beliefs that they abide by, that's instilled in them, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you see Asians, you see Latino, they have a culture. We can't invade their culture because certain things of theirs is in solidarity. It belongs to them. When we have something, no matter what it is, we're so accepting to say, okay, it's for everybody to embrace. It's for we want to invite everybody in because we want to belong so fucking bad. But we really don't have an identifiable as African Americans in this country, in my opinion. We don't, and it's very simple because what is our culture?
So we have a food culture.
Oh, what?
Okay, like we have a food culture.
That ain't out.
See, this is almost, yes, it is. Your culture comes from your religion, food that you eat, music that you listen to, right? So that's talking culture. So every piece of American music we created. That's our culture. From macaroni and cheese that the slave who was with George Washington perfected, to fried chicken, to cooking a pig, that's our culture, right? To learning how to cut down sugar cane, and how to do medicinal. Like if you get sick, back in the day, Bosco didn't go to no doctor. She gave him some turpentine and sugar, and he bit on them sugar cubes, and them pesticides came about them. Our medicine is still being studied to this day. That is our culture. See, what other people say,
we
but
practice
black people
today.
Yes, we still practice
Some
it
still
to this day.
Some still do.
Listen, we have
no. Some. What I'm saying is, when we come here, what as a unified, what we don't. You're saying some. Where are those some?
What you mean unified? Shit, Africans aren't unified at all. They kill each other.
True.
And then when they get tired of killing each other, what they do? They run over here and talk about how good it is over here.
I hear what you're saying, but
you're looking at the Hispanics. The Hispanics, they ain't together neither.
Okay, but they still have certain things. When we talk about culture, you have certain things that is not even. It cannot be penetrated. It cannot be broken. Nobody else can take that and claim it for their own.
Who can claim our food? Nobody.
Everybody claiming it. We be like, oh yeah, you can come to the cookout.
No, but they can't claim. But they can't claim our food.
Yeah, I see what Mike's saying.
I mean, I hear what you're saying.
They can't claim barbecue.
What I'm talking about culture is when you have certain people of what's identifiable. We welcome everybody into our. We don't have anything. For me, this is just for me. I'm speaking for me.
But
we don't have anything that's like we could say, okay, this is it. But soon as somebody want to do it or mimic it and make it look cool, whereas though it's not like, okay, this is that. So when you say mac and cheese and you start looking up, you don't really see it being. Yeah, we might make the best.
It's our culture, and we get credit for it. Not only that, we got the 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th Amendment, and the 1860 Civil Rights laws. Look it up. This is our culture. The reason why other people can come over here and not get swung from a tree is because The 16th Amendment. These are ours. These are ours. The 13th, 14th, 15th, and 16th Amendments are Black amendments. That's what they're called. They're called the Black Amendments. See, the most important
I'm
thing
gonna
people don't
respectfully
understand.
disagree.
Yeah,
I just
but
because I'm looking
I'm
at culture from a different
look at it.
standpoint,
You're
not
not
that
though. You looking at
I am
listen.
because I don't
you gotta
think
look
we
at it.
have
You gotta
one.
look at it. You gotta look at it. Laws that we set, right?
Okay,
The
so what's your definition of culture?
I'm about to let you know. So culture comes from the way that we talk, walk, eat. Um, what is it? The foods that we grow, the change in government that we set. Those are our culture. That's our culture.
What changes are we making? That's ours. That can you can say this person that's there. We when I look at culture,
Okay, I'm gonna let you
I
know.
look at hold on. I look at beliefs and all of those things that fulfill. When I look at other cultures and other races, even when they come here, you know this is it. This is that. Certain things we cannot penetrate, right? So what I'm saying, I hear what you're saying. I agree with what you're saying. But I'm talking about culture on another standpoint of when I look at it, we don't have anything. We're too accepting. Even when somebody says, "Oh no, we're not just going to let them just have this." The same thing with the Juneteenth thing. We could have kept that.
You know
If
what?
that's what
I
So,
got what you're saying. This is my thing on that. I think we do have culture. I do. I believe we really do. The problem is, and I see it a lot today, and I think it with the music wise, our culture got infiltrated.
right.
And
I agree.
some people, like, and I'm gonna call these people out, and I know they're all white. I'm gonna call out people like Sexy Red and people like Nicki
I agree.
Minaj, people like Cardi B. I like Kanye to a point, but even like Kanye and even Jay-Z, they took the dollar. They took the dollar,
see,
and I
but y'all
think
talking.
I think our culture's for sale, but I think it's our
It
culture.
is.
It's
It's
our
only
shit.
ours.
It's our
But
shit.
y'all listen. But y'all talking about popular music.
I'm not
Popular music
talking
Oh no,
is
no,
about
no,
always
no.
that.
I'm
That's
just I'm
no,
just
no.
no,
saying.
no, no.
You
Listen to
take
me.
that
Yeah,
for
yeah.
an
No,
example.
no, that's
When
not what I'm
I'm talking
saying.
about
What I'm
what
telling
I'm
you is
talking
that
about, okay, we don't have a one language, belief, everything. So our religion is not ours. When you say religion, the religion that we have has been taught. It's not ours.
so.
So when
So
I look at certain things like that, when that's what I mean when I say we really don't have an identifiable culture because here, if you were born and raised here, you are taught the American way of doing certain things. But when you have other cultures that come and migrate here, they're bringing whatever culture from where they're from here. Certain things are just as you know what's considered Asian culture, this culture, that culture. But when you sit there and you want to talk about African American and Black culture, a motherfucker be like, "Oh no, well, why can't we all?" And then we're like, "Oh sure," and then somebody
no,
else will do it and make it look
you're
cool, and then we let them go.
because you're not noticing what our culture is, right?
Okay.
So go and look. The 16th Amendment was for immigration that we fought for. Understand, our culture has always been inclusive. There's the one thing that Black people be mad about. Okay,
So
when
for
a
you,
part
culture is inclusivity.
our culture is for everybody. Understand
To me,
this.
that's not culture.
When
That's
you
just
gotta
me personally.
let me finish. Right. So when you start studying stuff, so slavery happened, right? Fine. The right to vote was for Black people.
Mm-hmm.
Black people. Okay. The immigration and to be a naturalized citizen, that was for Black people. Okay. It was for Black people when they put them into laws into the remember we have the humanitarian amendments. That's what's ours. And I think when people talk about like we got on Black history, people aren't really taught this. You know what I'm saying? They were called the Black Amendments for a reason, right? To
Mm-hmm.
be inclusive, right? If you look like me and you came over here from Jamaica, they classified you as a nigga and you got a chance to vote. When you immigrated over here and you was African, you got classified as a nigga. You never so now you can go through the immigration process, right?
Mm-hmm.
What they didn't like was is that more African descended people were coming over here through Ellis Island. That's what they don't tell you. And then they started putting a restriction on immigration. Okay. So when they say, oh they show you in Godfather, oh the Italians coming in drove. Well, there's nigger Italians too. You know what I'm saying? There's nigger Italians too, right? when Mexicans come over, they're Afro-Latino Mexicans coming over. So what they did was they said, hold on, we're gonna let the white ones come in. But we gotta find a way to make sure that these niggas don't come in. But the amendment doesn't state that you need a test, you have to learn the English language or nothing to come through. Right? It gave us but I'm about to tell you our culture. This is the staple of our culture. Right?
What is it? Can you tell me what the culture is? Not the political version.
No,
so what is your culture?
Listen, but political takes precedent.
To me, that's not culture.
But it is though. It is though, because
that's not the standpoint that I was speaking on.
Listen, when the Africans come in, they govern themselves based on their political beliefs. On their political beliefs. Yes. That's why when people are gay, they beat their ass up. It's a political belief. Okay? When the Jamaicans come over, it's a political belief to still cook your food. It's a showing of the love. We have the same thing. That's why Thanksgiving is so big in the Black community. That's why everybody gather around the table and eat our traditional foods. Okay? Those are our traditional foods. We grew okra.
I just
watermelon. We did all that. And I think when people think about, they call it soul food for a reason, everybody take offense. Right? How come our food got to be soul food? Because you ate that shit and then you went to go work in the fields and you was replenished, motherfucker. That's why they call it soul food. When you talk about jazz, we did jazz. We did the blues. Yeah. They hated both of them. We did rock and roll. Okay? We did we did opera. We did ragtime.
I'm not disagreeing with
you. This is our
I'm just
culture.
saying from my hold on.
What you're looking at.
I know we're running out of time, but no, I hear what you're saying. But I must say this. I think I'm communicating it wrong as to what my standpoint is and what I'm saying in the matter of culture. I'm not talking about systematic. I'm not talking about all of that. What I'm just saying is from a standpoint of who you are, your foundation, your base. I don't think we have that.
You want it as a collective. We ain't never
never
together.
I'm just saying period. Because I can say I have culture in a family because I have been instilled certain things of I know where I come from, certain beliefs, certain moves. What I'm saying is we're just so accepting of inviting everybody into we don't have anything that's identifiable that this is us. That's all I'm saying. I'm not talking about the amendments or anything like that, but when you speak to or you go into an environment of Asian, white, whoever,
they dancing like us. They dancing like us.
I think it's I think our culture is identifiable.
It's influencing.
I think the problem is, I mean, I see both of your sides.
Yeah.
I think our problem is, like I said, we welcome too many people to the table and let them do what they want do what they want and
make it their own.
And make it their own.
We
That's
can't
what I
do
think.
that.
Like look at hip hop. I remember when hip hop was in the streets before you got on the first
culture
record.
Can you change? Can you, as an African American person,
go in
and take somebody's shit and change it and make it your own? But us, so you can't say we have a culture because your culture cannot be altered.
It can be assimilated. Listen, it can be assimilated, but it's still out.
No, we let people change our shit and call it theirs. That's what we do.
Though, but who did it? Breakdancing is still breakdancing, no matter if an Asian person do it or not.
Dancing, but you got to think that the stuff that we believe in, the stuff that we do, is not. That's not us.
You got to give me an example. Give me an example. What you talking about?
The best way to put it is this way: how many soul food restaurants with Black people running the store do you see in a I mean, how many Black people do you see running a Chinese restaurant in the Chinese community?
None.
But how many Chinese people do you see, or Koreans do you see in the Black community?
90 to 95%.
Stores, they got the restaurants. I think we let people. Actually, we do have a culture. I agree with Mike. We do have a culture that's identifiable to us. That's our shit. And I agree with you, Coco, where I think our problem is we let people in and we don't say, "Hey, this is our shit." Like I look at hip hop. I remember when hip hop first started, before all the shit went on. I mean, when it first started, we had it. You had Puerto Ricans in there, but you did not see anybody didn't have any type of. But now, if you look at it now, look at how the music is being played. If you look at the black people, the shit we say is the most fucked up stereotypical shit you gotta play. But you know what? If you look at the white rappers, they don't do that shit. They talk shit, but they're not saying, I'm gonna go shoot up my white friend or none of that shit. You look at guys like Post Malone, they're doing our shit. They're doing our shit. But they ain't, we it's to the point to where it's like a song, I forgot, it's called Music Intuition by the X-Men. We created something, they gave it, they got into it, they handed us back a shit that we don't even recognize anymore.
Right.
It's still our shit. Like hip hop is still our shit. But if you look at it now, compared to how you go back to the first rappers, the Jubilees, 1934.
Right.
If you look at it now, when people associate what with hip hop, they don't talk about pub. They don't associate Public Enemy or KRS-One or Rakim. What they say. And now I respect Eminem, because Eminem, he stays true to the game. But when people talk about rap, who are the names they talk about on top? The ones that make us look like shit. But when you talk about the white rappers, MGK, Machine Gun Kelly, he's making a mockery. Wearing pink shit and dresses and shit like that. That's not hip hop culture. That's why I say I see both of y'all's point.
That's the only point that I was trying to make.
It's ours, but it's not what we created anymore. It's like you buying a house.
We just can't claim it for us.
It's like you buy a house. You
gotta claim it for everybody.
You let somebody in the house say, "Yo, I'm going on vacation for a week. I'll be back." When you come back, it's still your house, but this nigga got freaking Budweiser bottles on the shelf and shit. He got pictures of damn George Washington.
Can I get a perfect example?
He got unseasoned chicken in your fridge that he don't cook last night. All your good shit is. I'm just.
Can I give one perfect example?
Yeah.
I'm gonna shut it down with this. Black Lives Matter.
Oh man!
All we wanted to do was say that we matter like everybody else. Our lives mean as much as everybody else. What's the first thing that came about?
The movement wasn't ours.
No, hold on.
The movement wasn't ours. It was backed by George Soros. It was never ours. It was backed by white man.
Hold on. Let me just say this.
I fucked that movement.
When we did, I'm just trying to prove a point. So with that, soon as we start saying everybody, no, it's all lives, ain't just y'all, ain't just y'all. And then next thing you know, what we started doing, okay, you're right, all lives. You even had us turning on us for doing that. But then soon as something happened, and then we saw in the Asian stuff, something happened, they was unified, Asian Lives Matter. Not one person, not even none of us, said anything about all lives or nothing else. So when I say cultural, because you cannot infiltrate certain things because it's that this is it. This is what we're gonna stand for, and you're not coming over here and that. So for me, culture is something that you can identify that's yours.
You are as a
person.
But you can't use the foreigners because they got a pass. You know what I'm saying? I tell this to people at my job, like, yo, they got more protective laws than we got, and we've been here. True. So it's a little different. So it's a little different when you say, like, they can keep what's theirs, right? Elijah Muhammad said easily, he said, do you know what's so weird? That when we get
you're supposed to have religious freedom.
No, he didn't.
You supposed to have religious freedom.
Elijah Muhammad said, you know, the one thing that they say that they scared of, and that's having black people sit around and talk about their problems, right?
Sure.
J. Edgar Hoover said the most dangerous thing is to have black unity, right? It's the number one threat to the United States itself is black unity. We don't have to all be together. We just got to be on one code.
True.
Right? So you look at Nellie Fuller Jr. came up with the code. He got a book. Get the book. Claude Anderson came up with Power Knowledge.
What's the book?
I got to send it to you. It's downstairs.
All right.
So
Who the hell
Those
is
were
this?
those.
Mike,
That ain't me. I didn't
come
put that
on,
up
I see professional.
there. I don't know who that is. You.
I don't see no vowel. Okay, I got to see one vowel, two vowels,
I don't know what that is.
three
But
vowels, four
mhm.
vowels.
Oh no,
but
that's YouTube.
yeah. So
That's a spelling.
what it does is
It's not
is
even a word.
Nelly Fuller Jr. wrote the code book. I'll give you the book. It's on YouTube. And then Claude Anderson explained the power economic structure and how we can empower ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So those two books is the most powerful books you can get besides the Elijah Muhammad and the way of eating, like what you should eat and what you shouldn't
Yeah.
eat. Those are the three books. The problem is that right now, they do have a content creator that making Nelly Fuller's speeches and his points and all that into like it's on YouTube. I seen that too. Um,
Somebody block this person
Who
joining.
the
so
hell is this?
if that's on YouTube, you got to go on YouTube and
Oh,
block them.
Garlo.
I'm about to do it now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So that right there within itself, we have a culture, we have a code, we have an understanding. The problem is that black people get too concerned about us being unified is the
I can't
problem.
see it. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So I think that's what the thing is. Malcolm X said we don't got to get unified. We just need to understand it.
True that.
And I think and that's what's happening now is the awakening of so much information that we can get that you can't hide our past. You know what I'm saying? It's one guy made he made a horror movie about the lake in Georgia. Was it Lanier Lake? That every year people die in this
Oh,
lake, and it was
Lanier
a
Lake. Yeah.
town. Yeah, and he made a
Yeah.
horror movie about it, and people were complaining like, "Oh, this is low budget. Oh my God, he had to put it in a scary movie because he can't actually give you the truth, or they would have never they would have never backed the movie. You see what I'm saying? Like I don't think people understand. Like they're not gonna let us tell, you know, about the punch bowl and how they forced
Of
them.
course not.
Yeah,
Oh,
how
yeah.
the Union soldiers forced the black people in the swamps. They was eaten by alligators and all of that. They're not gonna.
Mm-mm.
You can't actually say that. You can't actually talk about the coup de grace in Wilmington, Delaware, over a fact. Yeah, over a fact that the lady lied because she was having an affair with she was dating a black guy that the whole town knew, and they just felt some type of way and decided to burn down
Why do you think we
the
can't
the
unify?
newspaper. So he said,
Well,
"Why do
this
you
is
think?"
where I agree with Mike. I mean, I agree with everything that you said. I think we're saying the
Yeah,
same,
we done.
but it's just
Is it?
in a different format. But it's
Yeah.
okay. So I think J-Bay said, why do y'all think we can't unify or can we? I think partly, and I think Mike might agree with me on this one. More so, we've been
We no.
we've
You
been
just
we've been struck we've been
we've
taught
been killed.
react a
We've
certain
been
way, whereas though we two against each other now.
no. We've
We
been
two against each other.
killed. We've
Huh?
been killed. All you got to do is look 1989. Look at Philadelphia, the Hope movement, where they dropped a bomb on them
Yeah.
people in Philly. The
Yeah.
reason why
Okay.
we not together is
That
because
was like
we don't want to
1980. Yeah.
die.
No,
We
that's
don't want
not
to die. That's not what we are not together because we do not want to die.
well,
They
I
scared
kind of
the
disagree
whole.
because we killing each other every fucking day.
We don't want to. People getting shot is different than people dropping bombs on you.
I
You know what I'm
agree.
saying? So
But
we
I
don't want
think
to.
in the context of his question is I
We
hear what
don't.
you're saying.
Yeah, we don't want to die.
Okay. Okay. But you know, a lot of us don't even understand what you just said, right?
I
And
know
Yes,
what
they
he mean.
do.
I,
They
I know what he mean.
understand.
no, I
Yes.
know what you no, I know
Yeah.
what you mean, but in the context, I'm thinking in the context of where this is coming from. And I can tell you it's not in that context. I guess meaning I get why you're saying what you're saying. But if you look at the everyday thing, yes, who wants to wake up and be like, oh yeah, I want it right, I get it. But I think also there's several other things that play a part on top of that as well as to why we can't. So his thing is why we can't unify or can we? I mean,
Yeah.
I would say no, I think we're too far gone. One, I think we're too one, we don't even like ourselves. That's number one. And we've been conditioned to not like who we are as people, which goes into what I was saying about the culture thing. But I also think it's if you don't understand like who you are. You already against somebody that look like you and against yourself, and you hate you because a lot of us hate what we look like and who we are. How can you come together?
Nah, man, that's not true. What I'm telling you is that they killed a, a lot of us. Think about even when you watch the Judas and the Messiah, right? Where they killed Fred Hampton and put him on the newspaper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when the
Right.
leaders got. That's when there was no more leaders after that.
Okay, let me
Once
ask
they
you this.
put
Let me
him,
rephrase the question. So to a person that's not in that time, we also got to be realistic. How many people, especially in the newer generation, know that?
it was a
The,
Right.
o-
movie.
okay, you know how
Right.
to put it
Yes, it
this
was a
way.
movie. It was a
It's like
movie.
this.
Judas and the Messiah. They did the
No,
movie
I agree
so they
with
could
you.
Yeah.
so they
Yeah,
can
I
show
agree
you
with
You know how
why.
to break. You know how to break it down simpler. It's just like you wonder, like, why when we see each other, we mean mug each other, or we won't
Right.
mean mug a white person. It's like we're not scared of each other, but we're scared of them.
Right.
Like Mike said, they killed us.
They
We're scared.
kill
We're not
us.
scared of each other. Like we'll go out and fight each other. 'Cause we're like, we may not even have any consequences if we kill each other. But if we go after them, there's consequences. They're gonna lock ass up. Yeah.
You literally had a guy go to Buffalo, New York,
Mhm.
and say I hate niggas. Walked in a supermarket, recorded it on Twitch, and aired us out.
Yes. Yes.
I don't know.
I don't know
I
either.
can't
Yeah.
find it. It's not on. Oh, I'm
So
not on mute. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
yeah.
You're right,
So
Mike. They kill.
yeah.
Yeah.
No,
So
I
I
agree.
get what y'all saying.
Mhm.
I'm gonna talk. Okay, let me say it this way. Let me speak for the people that's not completely that deep in it, right? Or who is going by everyday things of what they see, and we hear it and we've heard it every week about what people see that's going on in their community. I don't think we can, for that reason, like I said, I agree with you, but that also goes into if you put an image in our head or you do something, yes, you've been, so you're already, what's the word I'm looking for? You're already
condition, condition.
programming,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
to be like, this is it. You ain't going like you. This is that and the third, and all the images that we see
Mhm.
creates a visual of we ain't supposed to, fuck with
You
each
know a
other.
good way to
That
put
But
was
it.
that's
the
not.
music.
But
That was
that's
the
not.
vibrations of the
You know a
music
good way to
Listen.
put it.
that
That's
we
not.
listening to.
But you
But
know a
that.
good way to put it. You got guys that be like, "Free my nigga," blah blah blah, who
Right.
killed somebody, but they whine when somebody outside the community kill one. They ain't
See.
got no problem with us doing
So
each
as long as
other.
you get some money.
Listen. Listen. I'm about to give you a statistic so we can stop with the whole because we kill each other. The FBI said you do harm with people that's in your immediate proximity,
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
right? So there's white people harm white people because they're around white people.
Right.
Chinese harm Chinese people because they're around Chinese people. Black people harm black people because they're around black people.
Right.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so there's no such thing as black on black crime and all that other goofy shit. Is that we're in close proximity of each
Right.
other,
Usually kill
right?
within your environment. Yeah.
So you kill what you see.
Right.
It's just how this works, right?
Yep.
The problem isn't that we don't like each other. The problem is that there will not be a leader or motivator that comes out to us, right, and say, "Yo, listen, we tired," because we know what the history show. Okay, we know what the history shows, and they don't go to jail.
No, you don't.
The last bombing the last destructive movement was in 1989. I was born in 82. There will be no Messiah. The one thing they said they're looking out for the next Messiah. They don't give a fuck if we ain't together. We
No.
don't want nobody smarter than you. And if he's too smart, guess what? We start giving him perks, right?
Yep.
It's a movie called Cry Baby. And the guy explained it at the dinner table. He said, you know what we do with the smart ones? We give them everything, right? We even make them think that they like us, that we accept them. We make them think that he's so comfortable that his brothers turn his back on him, and then we turn his back on him. Then he has nowhere else to go, aka Clarence Thomas.
Mike, you coming
Right.
back next week?
Yeah,
Because you you know we're gonna have to finish this next week because I got something. You know I always gotta play devil's advocate.
It's Black History Month. We might as well talk
It
about
is. So we're gonna continue this
know?
next week. We're gonna put it in an open discussion with some things. I don't disagree. I do agree, but I just think there are other perspectives. Let's just say that. So
you want me to close the show, I guess.
yes, because Mike already gave me that bullshit chuckle.
All right, y'all. Once again, thank you for tuning into the Captain Convo Show. You can watch us every Wednesday from 8 to 10 p.m. on Facebook, YouTube, and handradio.org. Check me out, The Mixed Experience, from 6 to 8 p.m. on handradio.org. I'm mixing everything and your mama. I'm putting it all in there. Thanks to our host, our guest, the governor. We call him the governor. That's Mike Taylor in the business.
Don't be gangster about.
That's there. I gotta give him props. If someone can start trouble like I do, I gotta give him his due. I gotta pass him his flowers. Thank you for whoever put the little algebra equation in the comments. Thank you, Jay Bear, Jude, Samika, someone else was in there. Paul. I feel like somebody else I don't know. For Rich behind the boards, for the host of the show, Coco. I'm the Boscoe from the Bronx, and we out until next week, y'all. See y'all at 8 p.m.